everybody. It is currently Wednesday, March 1st. Welcome back to the Jacking Around podcast. I got with me Jacob, Nick, and Kyle as usual. Coming at you a little bit later this week because I had some family come down and I just didn't have time. I don't get to see him very much. More like a brother to me. So I want to spend as much time with him as I can. I haven't seen him in about 7 months. So sorry for the delay on when this came out, but yeah. So how's everybody's week been, man? How y'all doing?
Chilling.
Yeah. Vibes.
Good,
What's
yeah.
been
For
new?
sure.
What's been new with y'all? What's been happening last week?
I mean, I guess I have one thing other than the usual grind of work. Um, got a nice little new PC sitting next to me, so that's kind of been the thing that took a bit of my time. But other than that, I mean, like I said, work, um, the usual.
You a gamer? You game, bro?
I've been gaming a little bit.
What kind of games you playing?
Just a little bit of Siege. I don't know if
Disgusting.
I feel like Kyle, you probably
I,
dabbled.
I never played it, man. I never have. I've heard about it, but just never.
Don't.
It's definitely a
Don't
game
play
you
it.
should try because you're either gonna love it or you're gonna absolutely despise it.
Yeah, I'm in the latter on that one. It's awful.
Yeah.
It's
I thought it was fun. I thought
It
it was
is.
fun.
not at all. It's very ass.
I don't know. As long as it's really just there's a bunch of different they're called operators of the characters. They have different abilities and stuff. Just gotta learn them. Kind of see what's good. It's kind of a
So
nerd thing.
like an older
It's like
Apex.
No. It's
Apex
like-
has that ability thing. Yeah, maybe not the same style or gameplay, but like with the same characters having special abilities. Or...
Yeah. So
It's
you'll have
search and
a-
destroy. It's search and destroy with
Yeah.
abilities.
and
Yeah.
certain walls can be destroyed, and then you can have one guy
Fortnite.
that okay, not quite, way slower pace, but you have a guy with a sledgehammer break down a wall. Another guy can have a riot shield with lights on the shield, so you go and you blind everybody. I don't know. You should take a little dabble.
I'll think about it.
It's fun.
You didn't really sell me right there, but I'll think about it.
It's so
Alright.
ass. Everybody's so damn good now that it's like not fun for new players. It came out like probably 8-9 years ago now, and everybody's just so fucking good at it that it's just like not even worth playing. Because people will smurf and they'll be way too good for somebody who's just trying to have fun, and they'll just go like 20-2, and it's just not fun.
Maybe you should be smurfing. That's
That makes
the
no
solution.
sense. I'm
You
not
should go
good
smurf.
enough.
I'm sure
Why?
there's a lobby out there
Why?
that you can smurf on.
Why would I want to do that? I just want to play the game. Too much work to create a whole new account and all that other bullshit. I don't want to do that. So
I have
Kyle,
another
how's your
option.
week been?
I have another option though.
What's that?
You just get better. Come on now.
I don't want to.
Come
The game is
on
not
now.
fun. The
Get
game is
better,
ass.
kid.
But yeah.
Get better, kid. My week's been good, man, since the last podcast. Staying busy. Currently going through my internship right now. I'm working at a physical therapy clinic here in San Marcos, and kind of just getting closer to graduating finally. It's been a long journey.
Yeah.
So graduation comes in May. Just kind of I'm getting back into my exercising. So since we started that, maybe been consistent maybe for about the past week or so, but I've been kind of on and off. But I'm down a couple of pounds already. Since I started my journey back in October, really, I'm down 20. So
There you go.
kind of went hard for a little bit and then kind of really slacked off. So I'm trying to get back there, try to get that summer bod going. So other than that, man, life's good. Just kind of figure it out as we go, day by day.
Consistency is key, man. That's the hardest part. It's not really about the exercises that you do or the weight that you lift. It's all about just being in there and getting the work done.
I'm getting sweaty, man. Get real sweaty.
Hot
Get
and
real
sweaty,
man. That's just, that's how you know you're working hard.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, man.
Leave a little bit of a print behind when you get up, or what?
I'm not gonna say of what, but yeah.
Okay. All right. Too much detail.
Nick, how you been, man?
Pretty good, man. I'm kind of boring. I just, go to work, go home. Just, you know, been having a good time at work, developing real estate around the Austin area, doing that, learning the business. Um, so yeah, man, I don't really have much going on. I did go to the gym for about a week. That was a month ago. And I haven't gone since. So I need to get like you, Kyle, and get back in. So I guess
One
that's what
way.
maybe. What was that?
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say maybe on next podcast I can say I went to the gym for a week straight,
There you go.
and
That's cool.
we can get going, man. Yeah.
I think one way this I think it's really helped me, and I have a couple of buddies that uh are working out for different reasons than me. They're trying to bulk up, I'm trying to cut down. But either way, they're going consistently. And so we all have Apple Watches, and you can compete with one another. You can send out a challenge and see who works out the most, who can get the most points per se, calories burned, standing, the exercise, all that good stuff. So I found that, being a former baseball player and having that competitiveness for, 18 years or so, it's still in there, no matter how long I've been done. So it's once I see him, who's obviously smaller than me, I'm like, no way, I'm gonna let this dude outwork me. So it does help. It helps me get up and go. So I think I found something that kind of, especially with friends, it's cool to text them like, "Hey, dude, I'm kicking your ass right now. You better
Yeah.
you better work. You better work out today, or I'm gonna get type stuff like that." So I'm open to doing
Yeah.
that with all you guys. If you guys want to get to the gym, I know Colton works out regularly. Nick's trying to get in. Jacob, I'm not sure what Jacob does, if he's in or out, but I think it's a good way to stay active and competitive.
Yeah, I run a couple
Dude,
of
I'm in,
Absolutely.
man. Yeah, I like that. I like that. That's pretty. I didn't know they have that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
So you send just like I ran like a mile today or 2 miles today
Mhm.
or something, or is it kind
And
of
you
like
get
that?
so like you set your parameters. So like right now I have my calories set at like burning 720, or it's called move. So like I move for 720 calories a day. I have my stand for 10 hours, which that one I think is a little bit off just because like if I sleep with the watch on, it counts as standing pretty much. So like I'll
I got you.
stand, like the other day I stood for 17 of the 19 hours that when I looked at it, and that's not realistic. I'm not standing in my sleep.
Damn, dude, you be standing
You were
there
just
that long, bro?
you were just sleepwalking. That's all
I
it
was
was.
just sleepwalking, standing straight up, yeah, right at my door. And so, and then I have exercise for 60 minutes a day. And so you get points based if you complete all those rings, or if you just do a workout for, if it even be 30 minutes. You don't got to fulfill every ring, but it's a pretty neat thing. You get points for it also. Good way to stay motivated in my opinion.
Dude, hell yeah, man. I'm down. Hit me up. You have my number.
I got you, bro. I have to send you a challenge.
Hell yeah. Okay. Cool, man.
Nice.
Colt,
Yeah.
how you been, man?
Good, man. Just trying to get used to living in Louisiana, trying to get my schedule right and everything. Last week went 6 for 6 on going to the gym. Went all the 6 days that I need to last week. Um, I'm just completed week 4 of the 12-week program I'm doing.
It's nice.
So it's been a lot. My body's it's definitely been a hard change. It's been difficult. Like I've been like super tired. Like my body I can definitely feel that I'm doing a lot because there's a lot of volume in these workouts. There's just lot to do. And so I'm also going to be prepping, eating chicken, rice, and broccoli 3 times a day, every day of the week. Only drinking really just water mainly. Um, yeah, so it's been different. I lost like 11 pounds since I got here, but I started lifting more weight, so that's always a plus.
Nice.
Mainly packing on muscle, losing the fat, so it's good. Also, I've been working for the football team for about a month and a half now, I think, a little over a month. So that's been good. I'm getting paid now. I got my first check on Friday. That's nice. Always nice to, get paid for your work. Shout out UT for never fucking paying me $1. That was real cool. Um, yeah, just it was good to see my cousin this past week. He also does music, so if y'all want to check him out, it's Mitchell Ford and the Volunteers. Got some good Texas country and rock and roll mixed in together. Great music. It was great to see him. Me and him kind of grew up together. We're like brothers, so I mean, it's always nice to see him. Yeah, trying to, get ready for school. Last week I didn't have school at all because of Mardi Gras. But got 2 midterms coming up next week that I got to study for. It's gonna suck, but it's what it is. And I also have a paper due next Friday, so next week is gonna suck.
Yeah, it sounds bad.
Dude,
But-
you seen the gains in the gym?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get way more definition in my arms and my legs. Like my hamstrings are really showing now. I mean, my veins are going crazy in my arms whenever I do arm workout. So that's always good. What I'm trying to do.
Nice, bro. Good shit, brother.
I don't do cardio. Fuck cardio. I just lift.
On the forever bowl.
No, I'm slimming down. I just want to get toned. Yeah, I mean all the workouts I do like 2 leg days. Monday and Friday is usually leg day, and it's that kind of like 7 or 8 different exercises, and then like the arm workouts vary from like biceps to like back work and stuff like that. So going 6 days a week is tough. It's definitely tough. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like Sunday is like I just want to lay down all day because I'm just so damn tired. But I haven't been yet this week because my cousin's been down, and I knew we needed to record tonight, and I had to work. I had to work kind of late tonight, so we'll get back in. We'll work out Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then all through next week. And I'll actually be in Texas next weekend, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Nice.
Did you
Very
just say
nice.
fuck Texas though?
The university.
Hey, I can't let that slide. Look behind me. I can't let
I
that
have
slide.
a whole degree from there. I have different reasons to not like them right now. I still go for them, but it's just I can't forget what happened.
I respect it.
But yeah,
Very nice. Very nice.
yeah. So speaking of my work, I do work for the football team in the scouting department, and coming up this week, starting tomorrow, actually, is the NFL Combine, and that's kind of like the personnel Super Bowl kind of. This is when you get to see these guys live workouts and always getting live evaluations on guys. You can watch all the film you want, you can see how they work and everything, but always watching a guy live will always tell you more than just going back and watching the film. And yeah, pretty excited for the combine this week. Pretty excited to watch Bijan. Happy for him. Yeah, go ahead and get into that. So the thing I want to talk about first, like, what do y'all think is like the best drill to base a player on? If you had to like completely take away all the drills except for one, what would be the one thing? Like, would it be the 3-cone, the L drill, scuttle, bench press, like all those combined? Like, what would be the one if you just needed to evaluate them off one event? What would you best do, or what would you best define as the best drill? I don't know.
Wait, can I go first? Because I feel like someone's
Yeah,
going to
go
take
ahead.
this one.
Go ahead.
Probably. We can say the same thing.
I feel like we can double up.
Yeah, I
And-
mean, we can all agree on stuff. It's not going to hurt us.
By the way, we do have someone
Well,
in chat.
I want to be the.
And
Oh.
we might have a familiar name, right? The Full Chub actually said,
Shout out, Cade.
hey, Nick, please kiss me. So you got a fan? You got a fan down there in chat?
Dude.
Very nice. Very nice.
So yeah.
Thanks, Cade. Love you, buddy. Anyway. Where were we? Oh yeah, so okay, the best drill. So I think it's the shuttle. Because they'll like change the direction. That's really it. Just change the direction. Just run back and forth. That's what I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Football is a game of start and stop. How quickly you can stop on a dime, accelerate on a dime, and then stop again. Football plays are generally 3 to 5 seconds long. That's a great shuttle drill for like a skill player would be like in the 3.9 to 4.0 range. So it's right in that 3 to 5 second window. Like Nick said, change of direction is key, especially playing in the NFL. There's not really like long plays like the 40. There's not really a lot of plays where you have 40 yards a straight line that you're going to go and play. Like you're not. That's not something that just happens. So I think being able to show, like especially for like corners and running backs and stuff, how you can sink your hips and go and make your cut and seeing how fast you can do that is very important. So, what do you think, Jacob? What's your favorite drill?
Well, favorite. If I had to go favorite, like purely favorite, but I like watching the most, I like watching bench. Kind of makes me feel weak. You get those O linemen, D linemen up there, and they just rep out like 75. It's ridiculous. But I like the 3-cone. I think the 3-cone is I don't know. It feels. I don't know. I like watching it too. I like watching it just like bench. I would argue because I know you're saying bringing up what we think is one of the dumbest. I think the one with it's kind of a double-edged sword in my opinion is the 40. I'm a big like offensive line believer, right? My whole life I was on the line, so I really don't care about running 40 yards. But if you get an offensive lineman out there that first 10-yard split is fast, I love it. That first 20-yard split is fast. I love it. I don't care about the 40. Who cares about 40? But as long as who was it? Shout out Troy Aikman. As long as they got a big old butt, there we go. That's all that matters. So that's what
Absolutely. I think the 10-yard split is very important. I do agree with that a lot, especially for the big guys. Like you gotta, like I said, it's a 3 or 5 seconds per play. Yeah, you gotta have that burst. But what do you think, Kyle?
I'm gonna go that same route. I'm actually gonna say, even though Colton kind of shit on it just a little bit, I'm gonna go the 4. I think it's the 40.
Most important.
Like you said, I would say kind of an overall. Everybody has to do it. I wouldn't say necessarily the 4. It sounded like you did maybe a little bit, like, or you like compare like the shuttle was like down here. Anyway, I would say the 40, and just for that is that sole reason, as you guys just said, that 10-yard split, and I don't think the 40-yard is as much as how explosive and you are at the beginning. A lot of people don't realize how much of a difference that makes in your 40-yard time. It's just that get off, and I think everybody can benefit with it. I feel like majority of QBs should stop. The majority of QBs now can run, so I think that's a good indication for quarterbacks. Most of them can throw extremely well. O-line, like I said, that first step, whether you're going forward, if you're a guard or a tackle, whatever it is, and you're stepping back, just the explosiveness of it all. Running backs, same thing. Your start, wide receivers.
So are you
all that stuff?
Because my one thing with the 40, right, is I guess what you're saying is that the 40-yard dash lets you see different aspects. Like a lot of people see it as who can run 40 the fastest, which we've learned is not always the best gauge of NFL potential. Like you got like John Ross, who was there like, oh my God, this is like the best receiver of all time based off of his 40. And then, maybe he had like 15 catches. But like kind of what you're saying, so certain players you can see what their first step is like, first 10, okay.
And then you can kind of see too, if you get into like the whole thing, especially for receivers, running backs, even defensive backs trying to play catch up, how fast can they actually get? So you see running backs, they'll hit, but as soon as they see that gap, it's that boom, and then they have that getaway speed where those 40 yards actually matter. So a 4.3, 4.2, 4.4 actually matter. Receivers, same thing. If you're running a streak or a jet, whatever you want to call them, vertical, you got to be able to get past that defensive back. And that's where I think the 40 comes into play. And like I said, for DBs, if you get burnt, how fast can you catch up? So I would say personally, I think the 40-yard shuttle is amazing. 3-cone. I mean, you can argue all of them, absolutely. But personally, I would say 40, the 40-yard.
You know why the 40 is 40 yards?
No, I do not actually.
So the 40 is based on how far the average punt is. So it's made for punting. Fast you can get 40 yards down the field. It's like your gunners and stuff. You want your
average punt was like 55, so that makes sense.
Well, this was a long time ago. So I just learned that tonight at at, uh, at work. We are talking about the combine, so a lot of my new ideas are from stuff that I've learned more about tonight.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What is so the next part of this, what do you think the dumbest, like the worst, not the dumbest, but like what's the worst drill to evaluate how good a player is? Uh, Go ahead and throw this one to Jacob right quick.
So I guess I kind of already covered that a little bit, but I would say just the 40-yard dash, like what you get for your concrete number for the 40. Again, I'm kind of going more on like the offensive line standpoint. You can obviously make an argument that is one of the most important when it comes to skill positions. But for me, again, thinking from the lens of a bigger guy, um, like the total of the 40, I think is one of the dumbest things. Again, I was never gonna sniff that 4 point something, so that's why I hate it. Maybe there's a little bit of a personal vendetta there. But yeah, no, I will say another one of the drills that I actually enjoy watching. So I guess you can argue if it's good or not. Is the one where they're running down a line and they got a guy over here. They they got a turn.
Oh, the gauntlet.
Yeah, you always get the nice someone getting domed, or you get the George Kittle where he's doing it with a bloody nose and he's got the Kleenex in his nose. But yeah, dumb. I'm saying for the whole 40. Screw that. Again, it's probably a little personal, but no.
Fair, fair. All right, Nick, what do you think's the worst way to evaluate a player? What drill?
I think it's the standing jump. I think they should add a running jump. Because
You're
you're
talking like
running.
broad jump?
Yeah, like the standing, you just stand and is that broad jump?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one. That one, I mean, like realistically, when are you just gonna be like standing still and jumping like that? I'm just thinking of it as like a football move standpoint. So
Well,
instead, I think they should take that out and put in a running jump
When
because
do
when you run
do
down
they
the
do a running
field,
jump?
dude, when you're diving for the end zone, man, Reggie Bush, dude, like the 5 yards over Debo. Was it Debo? He jumped like
Ayuk.
5 yards.
Or
Ayuk, it
Ayuk
was
hurdled the
Ayuk.
guy. I don't
Yeah, dude,
know.
like jump and like dive for it. I feel like that's more of I don't know. That's me personally.
I disagree.
I think why?
Oh, I feel like the broad jump is just strictly explosiveness, right? So you're
But,
that's just pure power. But a running
but,
jump,
the
you're never
movement.
gonna. But you're gonna do like let's say an offensive lineman is in their stance. They're gonna explode more from being still, or a running back will be still. They're standing still, and then they explode to hit the hole, right?
Couldn't you argue that it's two
Act of
two
jumping,
types
though.
set?
Like, what is
that was what I was just about to go into, Jacob, talking about how it's very, very important for offensive line and how good their broad jump is. Because their first movement is here and up, and you got to see how much they can explode out of their stance.
Yeah, and they're not running. This is the the Arena Football League, maybe. God.
It's okay,
or
Nick.
Canadian?
Nick, don't let them shit on your idea, bro. You have
Oh,
your
no.
personal.
No, it's
I'm
all
going
right.
to.
I'm
That's
just
all
saying.
right.
I'm saying why I disagree with it. That's all it is.
I'm saying why that was the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Damn. Fine.
Fine.
Oh, no, Kyle sounds like he might not agree with me, but he's
No,
closer
no,
than you two.
no. I'm a lot closer. I don't think it's necessary. I never thought about it from that aspect, from the offensive line. My only counter to what Jacob was saying, y'all can tell me if I'm wrong. It's a different type of explosives, right? If you're coming from a receiver or if you're coming from a running back position, because I'm already here. I'm not coming up. I'm coming forward, and
It's
so
but with the broad jump, you're not going up.
The broad jump, you're jumping straight up, aren't you? Or that vertical?
That's the vertical.
So you're going like this, and you're jumping, right?
It's the one that, it's one that Byron Jones did like.
Okay. You should have said vertical.
Dude, now that I think about it, the vertical makes no sense.
The vertical doesn't make. I mean, it makes sense for receivers.
I mean, maybe receivers, but
vertical, it's just less. I'd say.
But even then, a vertical, like again, like you're standing still, and you're just jumping from where you're standing. Receivers are never still, so they're not going to get to that height when running. I would argue, maybe I don't know.
I mean, I would say that a running jump proves nothing. That doesn't prove you're explosive. That just proves that you can run fast.
Yeah, there's.
Kill me.
I mean, there's
but
real
the jumping ability.
There's
jumping. to dive
the
for
broad
that end
jump.
zone,
Yeah,
man.
the broad jump.
I'll take the heat off of Nick, and I'll go next.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I'm tired
I
of getting
think
bombarded, man.
I think personally it's the bench press. Uh, I don't think. I mean, majority of the people at that position are going to be strong regardless. And we're looking at offensive linemen and defensive linemen specifically. I don't need
I know where you're going with this.
necessarily a running back to bench 225 more than 12 times. That has nothing to do with his legs. That's nothing to do with his hands and
So he's gonna get
how
that ball stripped.
secure. That has nothing. That's a chest motion, right? So you're holding the ball with your arms. Receivers, I mean, nobody really, besides DK, I mean, is benching that much. Offensive lineman is not so much necessarily on strength as it is mechanics. Strength obviously plays a great part, but your mechanics, your fundamentals of being able to move the way you're supposed to, can sometimes be better than a strong guy who doesn't know how to play the position. Defensive linemen, again, it's all explosiveness. Of course, like I said, you want those guys to be stronger. Linebackers, same thing. Defensive backs, I mean, I think a lot of it comes from the legs. Quarterbacks don't need to be able to bench a lot to throw the ball very far. So in my personal, it's a good way to see. It's fun to watch how much of a scrawny running back or receiver can pump out 225 when I can maybe get it once. I think that's fun to watch, cool to watch, but I just don't think it's really that necessary or indicative of how good of a football player is.
Absolutely agree. I'm gonna go ahead and piggyback off that point. I think the bench press is the worst way to evaluate a guy off of, especially because a lot of guys have longer arms, and then some guys have shorter arms. It's a hell of a lot easier for a guy with 29-inch arms to do a bunch of bench press reps because he doesn't have to go very far. Versus the guy over here who's got 34-inch arms and a 82-inch wingspan. It's going to be a hell of a lot harder for him to do that many times.
So
and going back to what I was talking about earlier about it not being an endurance sport, the only thing that bench press is showing you is your endurance. Like, yeah, you can do however many reps of this, but that's not going to matter. What it should be, this was not my original idea, by the way. This is what I heard tonight, and I really agreed with it. Was it should be how quickly you can push it up and down, and not how many you can do, because you need to know, like, in that short period of time, how much force can you apply, and not, oh, I can do 37 reps at 225. Cool. You're not going to be engaged with somebody for more than, at the longest, maybe 8 to 10 seconds. So, I mean, everybody has different body types. And like I said earlier, a guy with shorter arms is going to have a hell of a lot easier time benching 225 for however many times than a guy with longer arms. It's just
maybe that should be something that's implemented into the way people view the bench drill then. And include that, and then you get like a true bench number, since they do like true shooting percentage and all sorts of stuff now.
Yep, I would agree with that. More about how quickly you can do a single rep than, oh, you can bench 225 for 35. Congrats. At that point, it's just an endurance deal. And football, you go for 35 seconds and you rest for 30. I mean, wouldn't the long versus short arm still be a problem for speed of press? Not necessarily. If you have longer arms, you can still do it as fast. Doesn't mean you can do it as many times. Sure, it may take you a little bit longer, but it's all about how fast you can do it. And most of your offensive linemen have longer arms. You want your tackles to have 34, 35-inch arms. So you want them to be able to move their arms very quickly. So I would much rather know how fast an offensive tackle is moving the weight up and down than how many times he can do it. Because I know he's strong. I know he's got the power. I want to see how quickly he can get his hands up or how much force he can apply in 3 seconds.
Now, that's what I was going to bring up too. Like you said it kind of a little bit earlier, but you did kind of touch more on the speed side. It's just maybe the amount of force that how quickly and how, like as we've been saying this whole time, explosive. How explosive can I be with 225 right here, and just explode up? Versus and it comes with speed. The faster you do it, and I mean, you're going to have majority of more force behind it. So, I think I agree with that completely.
I think one thing they should add to the draft combine, or the scouting combine, is make a mandatory, have a average normal Joe compete, so people can realize just how hard all the stuff they're doing and how impressive it is. I mean, I think that'd be awesome. Now you could say, okay, you had to have played. You had to be an O lineman in high school. You had to have like, so it's not just like you're pulling someone off the couch, you know. So they at least it's someone that's like somewhat physically there. I think that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, that
I
would
mean,
be fun.
like y'all just
I
heard me
mean,
saying I can punt it 55 yards. Obviously, I can't. It was a joke. But you know, some people actually live and die by like, oh, I could do that.
Yeah,
You couldn't.
for sure. And you know, the NFL Combine has, you know, more recently has garnered a lot more attention and like media presence and coverage and stuff like that. So that might be like another fun little way to, you know, kind of increase the coverage, I guess. Because I know I would definitely. I mean, I'm gonna be watching like all the stuff throughout the weekend anyway. But I think it would be funny to see just like an average guy go out there who thinks he can do all this stuff and just
And do like
see
a,
how
do
hard
a
it actually
celebrity
is.
combine, just like they have a celebrity all-star game for NBA. There are some celebrities out there. It'd be funny.
That'd be funny.
Just wait till they actually pull somebody out there that beats somebody in a 40 that's supposed to be like quick, and then they end up getting signed to like
That'd be,
to a practice squad
that'd be
deal.
awesome.
Why not?
That'd
Right?
be great.
I'd love it, honestly.
Yeah. So the next thing I want to talk about for the NFL Combine is it actually a good thing for the top prospects to actually participate if they have enough film from college? Is it a good idea for them to even go out there and throw? Should they, you know, go through all the drills? Because I mean, if you're already thinking you're going to be a top whatever pick, I mean, you know, what more do you have to prove? So, Kyle, I see you shaking your head a lot. I think you got some thoughts on this. What you got?
I'm right there with you, man. I would kind of borderline say I'm the same way with the bowl. For guys who are going first round, like you know for a fact, hey, I'm gonna get picked within these first 32 picks. What's the point? Show up to the combine if you're invited. Go through your one-on-one interviews. Go through that professional process. But if you're gonna have a pro day and you're expected to have majority of all 32 teams there, why not? I mean, just wait till the pro day. I mean, you can say the same thing. I mean, you're gonna risk injury either way, but you have to choose one or the other. I think a lot more pressure is on the NFL Combine, and I think I'm not gonna say it's a good way to drop your draft stock tremendously, especially if you're already a highly touted pick. I mean, the tape speaks for itself, man. In live game action versus on a field in front of a whole bunch of people, cameras. You know, they're used to this kind of stuff, but that stuff some people can crumble under the pressure, and I don't think you really ever want to see that for somebody. So I'm all for it, man. If you don't got to throw, if they're not making you, forcing you, or if you don't have something to prove, don't do it. I'd say wait till your pro day. But if you're one of those people that are like, I respect them either way. If they're like, hey, I know I'm gonna be like, say, Will Anderson or Bryce Young, Stroud, whoever ends up might be in the first round pick or first overall pick, if they want to go out there and throw, that speaks a lot about their character as well. I would say more so than them deciding not to participate.
Dude, I mean, okay, you mentioned the pressure of it. I feel like that'd be a good indicator on whether your player would crack under pressure or not. You know, as if they perform they obviously don't measure to where what like football play, like real game like speed. You know, all those drills you can't like, you know, they don't compare. But I feel like just the pressure aspect of it. I feel like that's I feel like that could add, it's a good indicator for teams.
And my point is how do I say that? I don't want a quarterback that's gonna crack in game rather than in front of in front of scouts. Like as I was saying, the tape speaks for itself. If Bryce Young went out there, threw, and shit the bed completely, I can go back to any one of his games and watch what he did in crunch time against live players in a live situation with a lot on the line than seeing him throw in an empty stadium with just a bunch of cameras and scouts around. So
And
I understand that aspect,
on.
but he doesn't have pads on. Exactly, that's another great point. So
yeah, Jesus, I'm with you on that. I honestly, if you're like you said, if you're a first round pick, there's no reason you don't have to prove anything. Like just you let your tape speak for itself, like whatever. But your day 2, day 3 guys, I definitely think it can help, and I definitely like you should absolutely go and do that. But like if you're like I respect the hell out of Bijan for he's gonna go through everything. I respect the hell out of it. I don't think he should. But I know a lot of teams are concerned about his top end speed, and that's why he really wants to run the 40 to prove that he has that 4.5 speed. But other than that, I don't think he should. I don't think he should participate. I mean, he has whatever tape of literally anything what you want to see from him. He has that. I, there's nothing he can do other than running the 40 that would help his draft stock at all.
Can you pick like I want to do just the 40 and not anything else?
You can.
I don't
I thought
think
you
so.
could.
I think you can like if you say you're in, you just have to go through everything. And he said he's going to fully participate in everything.
What about
40 was just
QBs?
an example.
Because QBs don't have to throw, but they can do everything else.
I probably should, but I don't. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. What are y'all's thoughts,
Jacob?
Nick?
Jacob's been quiet.
Yeah, what are you thinking over there, Jacob?
No, I think y'all are stealing all the the way that I think most people feel. Honestly, combo. I mean, I think for me, I don't think it's necessarily if you're a first round pick. I think if you're in that, I would say like the NFL lottery is almost top 10. Kind of an NBA little reference there. I think it's like if you're top 10, I completely understand why you wouldn't. But just first round overall, I don't know if you got the 32nd pick, you could very easily drop down to second. I don't think you have anything locked up. But now I know, Kyle, you kind of touched on the whole bowl game thing. I think now with bowl games, I think if you're like projected to be first round, I completely understand if you're gonna sit it out. Now, I think that just from like a team point of view, it ultimately comes down to like what standards you've been setting all season in your locker room. I think that's really what it comes down to. If you're preaching as like a team first guy, then I feel like it's almost your duty to do, to play. But if from the beginning you were never like, balls to the walls, I guess. I mean, personally, I'm a spectator, but I don't know. Those players probably would understand, but there's a potential, in my opinion, and maybe not. But yeah, no, I
Me
think
personally, going back to the bowl game thing, like you said, Jacob and Kyle. I mean, I'm bringing Beach up a lot, but he's like I hadn't kind of seen it firsthand a little bit more working for Texas. Like I was happy when he said he was sitting out. Like he didn't have anything else to prove. We were playing like no offense to the Alamo Bowl, but it's not a New Year's Six game. I fully believe that if it was a New Year's Six game, he would have played because that he, like you said, Jacob, he's balls to the wall all the time, leader, like that's a great example. Him and Roshan are the same, and they both sat out this game, which I was happy they did because they don't need their ACLs are worth millions. There's no reason for you to play in this game. I was happy when they said they were sitting out because I want them to go get the bag and I want their career to, move on to the next level. Was I kind of disappointed that, I wasn't going to see him one more time running all over everybody? Yeah, of course. That's the fan in me wanting to see him again. But from like a business side of it, I completely get it. Like, just like y'all said, there's no reason to risk injury at that point.
I think it was Kyle that said it is if you have nothing to prove, there's no reason to. But I feel like if any people, any scouts, any agents feel like you have questionable aspects of your game, I mean, not that you have to, but you could, benefit more. The more you benefit from it, the more you should do it. I think that's really just what we're all kind of saying, honestly.
Yeah,
And I really feel like there's
sure.
more reward than there is risk, in my opinion. If I just had a stroke. taking out the injury aspect versus I feel like if you're a first round pick, like I said, if you're a first round pick, you have nothing to prove. And I feel like, of course, for a first round pick, there'd be a little bit more risk, I guess you could say. But for those second round picks, third round picks, fourth round picks, whatever, I mean, you can only really excel. You can only get more attention. They're not gonna, like, oh, well, this just proves exactly why you're a fourth round pick. Not, oh shoot, this guy is actually doing very good. Maybe we should look at taking him in the third or the second round. So I think, especially like I was saying, for those later round, later day guys, the reward is worth way more than the risk. So.
But don't you guys think? I'm sure there are some players who were like maybe projected like mid first round, and if they go to this is like a like to make more money because the difference between a mid round pick or a mid first round pick and top 10 first round pick, that's a pretty good amount of money, I think, right? I'm pretty sure. So I'm sure like some of them would, if you're thinking about it like that,
for sure,
like to get just to to get more money type thing. So I can see kind of the like both aspects, y'all's, to get not to get hurt, but if you're trying to make that, trying to get that bag, then
sure. I actually like that point because I wanted to use this for what Jacob was saying. And you guys can totally shit on me if you think I'm wrong. But when you compared it to the NBA lottery, not that majority of first round picks are not good, but I feel like in basketball they're more, how do I say it? They can do more than just one position. So like I feel like you pick more in football based off of your needs rather than best available. When I feel like in basketball, you kind of just pick the best available. And so I feel like in football, you can fall to the 30th pick, 32nd pick and be an absolute steal because nobody really necessarily needed that position like you did. That's just kind of my personal opinion. Not like, and I agree though, but go ahead, Nick.
No, you go ahead, Peter.
The money aspect, of course, is the same thing with Nick, and that's why you can always, I don't know. And this is my personal opinion. I just don't. I wouldn't necessarily agree with how you said that, Jacob, just because you go more off of needs versus basketball. Of course, you go for your need, but I can easily play like Victor Wembanyama. He can play at the 4, he can play at the 5, he can even play at the 3 probably.
Hey, we can get into this with the NBA, but speaking of Victor, there's a recent clip, not sure if you saw it, of him getting back down in the post and absolutely bodied overseas. Now bringing him over here, you got LeBron, you got Giannis,
Embiid.
you got Embiid, you got Walker Kessler.
Will you use this for? Go ahead, Nicole.
You bring up Giannis. I mean, do you remember what he looked like when he came into the league?
Exactly.
I mean, Wembanyama is like 19 years old. Like he has plenty of time.
I would say those first couple years are going to be brutal.
Giannis's first couple years weren't that good either.
If he can stay healthy though, just because how skinny he is and how tall he is, if he can stay healthy, that's the main thing. While he builds that muscle as coming into his body,
he's going to do it. There's nobody's talking about Wemby or he's not going to be dethroned as the overall consensus #1 pick because he got back down. It's going to happen. LeBron gets back down. Joel gets back down. Your Lord and Savior Rudy Gobert gets back down. And I mean, it's going to happen, right? It's basketball. Once he said he's 19 years old, going up against actual 32-year-olds who've been playing in the league a lot. So he's definitely going to come into his shoes. He's going to grow. He's going to get better. So don't ever talk about the future Spurs player like that again.
No, I guess, but I mean, to go back to the original, whole pick thing, I think what you're going on, Kyle, I think there's just too many moving parts to say that the NBA is one thing, NFL is the other. That's my opinion. Because like in the the NFL, if you have someone that's just an absolute world beater that should go #1 and you don't need that, what do? You trade down. People, I mean, NBA, it doesn't happen very often where people are trading down. They're just like, I mean, to your point, first, like, who's the best? We're taking him, Then they worry about it later.
I feel like Were you helping my point, or were you going against my point?
Oh,
Because I feel like you just helped my point.
I'm not going against or with anything. I'm just saying
Okay.
there's just a lot of moving pieces. So it's like in certain situations you're spot on, but I think there's there's other situations where, I mean, I guess if you go back a few years ago, you had Luca, Trey Young, that might have been Wendell Carter or something.
Yeah.
I mean, those guys, those were top five. They all moved around to get who they wanted because all those players were projected to be amazing. But that's always what it is in the NBA. First five are supposed to be like future Hall of Famers, and then everybody else is just like, hopefully we get a role player, you know.
And to what you were saying too with Luca and Trey, those guys play the same position, and so that was the personal of the Mavericks thought that this player was better, while the Hawks thought this player was better. So they agreed to a trade type thing. Versus when, like you said, for NFL, I can trade down if Will Anderson isn't who I want, who's probably going to be the number one overall pick, unless the Bears trade. If they are okay with trading down, then they can trade it to somebody like the Colts or the Jets who need a quarterback. So you go off of versus, even though Will Anderson is probably the consensus best overall player in the entire draft, I'm not going to draft him first because I need a quarterback. So let me go get this quarterback that probably otherwise would have fell down to 4, 5, 6, 7, somewhere in there. Versus when, like I said, in basketball, Victor Wembanyama is overall the number one pick. Whoever has that pick is going to pick him, regardless if they really need that position filled or not.
For sure. I mean, we'll see.
Basketball
the
is
Spurs take him when he gets back down, but
basketball is being increasingly more positionless nowadays, and the NFL is heavily positioned. Like, you know, it's really hard to compare the two drafts, but I think I was spot on all those points. But it's a good little segue into the NBA. So fresh out of the All-Star break, you know, knocking the rust off things. Kind of talk about our team's week, how our teams did. You know, since I'm nice, I'll let Nick take this first one because I know he's got a lot to say. Some game that happened on Monday. I'll let you take it from here, Nick.
I like the sound of that. So yeah, you know, I already gave it to you, you know, when New York beat Boston. So I won't be too.
What happened?
You did what?
I'll be nice, but you know, the Knicks were the better team. They've always been the better team. They always will be the better team. It's just
Hang the fucking banner. Hang the banner.
You know, we should. And
yeah,
I would
you're
also
not winning
like to point
shit
out,
anytime soon.
Hey man, who knows? We might meet in the playoffs.
Oh, I would love that. I would absolutely love that.
I'm just saying. And it was a team effort. There were like 6 or 7 players who scored 10 plus. It was a full team effort, man. It was a nice game. And I just want to point out the Knicks haven't lost since they traded for Josh Hart. So 6-0 with Josh Hart.
7-0 actually,
because they beat Brooklyn tonight, baby.
Not the Knicks, the Nets.
Hell yeah! So you know, things are going.
Besides this one singular game, how did they do overall this week?
I mean, you said
they've been 6-0, man. 7-0.
One thing that's kind of interesting.
Been on fire.
The Celtics, if I'm not mistaken, were the hottest team in the first however many games of the season. They've been the number one seed for a while now, and then now look who's getting hot. So if that ends up being a 1 versus 8, and the Knicks are getting hot, that might not be as easy of a playoff match.
The Knicks are playing for 4.
My bad.
Come on now, dog.
We also didn't have the other part of the duo that's the best in the league. Jaylen Brown wasn't playing, so when we have our preferred starting 5, we're 18-1. Or actually, after tonight, we're 19-1. So that's all I'm gonna say.
That just sounds like an excuse to me.
I mean, Taylor's probably going to try to hurt Brown again, so.
I'm not making it an excuse. We lost. I mean, it is what it is. But continue with your Knicks talk, man. I mean,
no, that's it. You know, 7-0, beat Boston. Love to see it in the Garden. Yeah, man, I'm excited I think they'll make the playoffs. I think they will at least not be a play-in team if they keep, winning these Knicks.
Yep.
At least a little less than half of the games of the rest of the season. I think they'll be out of the play-ins. So I'll take it.
If y'all don't make the playoffs, something went horribly wrong.
Yeah. If they lose out, then it's gonna be tough. But I don't think we will, man. Everyone's looking nice. Jalen Brunson's should have been All-Star.
No, he
And
shouldn't
Julius
have been.
Randle is Jason Tatum's daddy.
No, he's not.
So actually, Mitchell Robinson is Jason Tatum's daddy because he stuffed his ass at the rim. Hard.
I don't know if I saw that tweet. I don't know if I saw that tweet, but basically saying that the way ESPN probably would have tweeted
Jesus.
that.
No,
is,
but they didn't.
Tatum
But they
almost
didn't.
threw it down.
No, that's not how. Oh my God. If there is any sports team that the media has in their dicks in their mouth more, it's New York sports. I don't ever want to hear that's dumb as fuck. New York sports gets dick roast so hard. I don't want to hear anything.
Yeah, when was the last time you heard of a New York college football team? Come on now.
Excuse me?
At New York sports.
Excuse
As in
me?
professional sport.
Excuse me?
The Knicks, anytime there's a big free agent, it's always, the Knicks are getting him. Oh, the Knicks. I remember when Braun was a free agent. Yeah, because nobody fucking wants the Knicks to go to the Knicks. It's simple as that. Poverty-ass franchise.
It's kind of hard for the Knicks to go to the Knicks, but okay.
Why you just said ESPN? They're catered to the New York team.
Because I said ESPN does, not the free agents themselves. Anytime there's a big free agent, it's always, the Knicks this, the Knicks that. I remember it was Zion and RJ Barrett. It was Braun going to the Knicks. It was KD going to the Knicks. It was Russ going to the Knicks.
So Knicks specifically, not New York. We're talking about Jets, Giants.
The only teams in New York that do
Rangers.
Do that too is the Yankees. I think the Knicks are an actual market for big because they have. I mean, it's iconic. They have money. They can spend, all that, but they don't ride them like, okay, the Knicks are absolutely playoff contenders. They're going to go to the chip. They're going to win the Eastern Conference Finals and all that. So I wouldn't say they're riding. It's the Yankees that's like, oh, my God, bro, this is the Yankees year. But we've been saying that for the past 18 years.
From a person looking into the baseball world, I'm not really in it much. I would say that's kind of a flawed argument because what we were just saying with the Knicks, they never have the guy. They have not had the guy since I don't know.
I'll let you slide on that one just because I know because you just said that you're an outsider looking in, so I don't understand where you get that from. But I'm gonna let you slide. I'll let you slide.
If I'm not mistaken, the Yankees always go out and they do a bunch of transactions. Boom, Absolutely. They get this big name. So it's very easy to go out there and say, they just did that with the Nets. Last year? They went out and got all these big names: KD, Kyrie, James Harden, all these old veterans that they're like 35 now, and they were gonna win it. I think that's the only thing that, in my opinion, is a little flawed because it's very easy.
You can't do that for 13 years now. They've been doing it for so long now. Now every year they add a piece, and it's like, this is the team, to get bounced in the DS.
For sure. No,
consistent. If I can understand if they did it like they were on a drought and then boom, oh my God, they just landed this guy. This could be this year. It's every single year when they keep the same team. They just add a bigger piece every year. This is the year.
But does that not make
this is the year?
Easy for them to do it.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. It makes it easy for media to hype up the Yankees if they're constantly getting a piece.
It's just how New York sports is.
It's how Yankee sports is.
Yankee sports is.
I mean, the Mets, they do the same thing with the Mets.
Not as much as the Yankees. I wouldn't say
I haven't looked at
the Mets. Recently, yes, just because they have acquired a couple pieces. But in the history, I wouldn't say.
And I wouldn't say they do that with the Rangers, New York Rangers.
And nobody really cares about that.
I'm trying to see the reaction on that one.
I don't know. I would have to check hockey. I'm not sure, but definitely not the Jets. Definitely not.
They
the
actually
Giants.
Just did get a big somebody. I don't know his name, but
they did.
They got somebody big.
I think they just got Patrick Kane, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds right. They're gonna win the chip, guys.
No, according to Colton, we're winning, baby.
Okay.
No. What?
Okay.
Anyway, I would love to hear about Colton's favorite team.
Ooh.
Boston.
Went 3-1. Went 3-1. Beat the Pacers and the 76ers on the road. Always good to play the 76ers because I know it's just another dub on the schedule. Just like Embiid says, this isn't a rivalry. They always kick our ass. JT hit a game winner in, I don't know who, some flap that they have on their team's face. That was cool. Embiid hit a 75-footer that didn't count. My reaction to that is, suck to suck. Get better. Don't put yourself in that position. You were up 12 to 15 during the middle of the game. Couldn't have lost. Yeah, it's always fun beating the Sixers, man. I mean, it never gets old. The process. Been processing that shit for 15 years. Never went anywhere. The first game back was a little rough. Played the Pacers on the road. I think it was a 4-point win in overtime, 142-138. It was definitely a little scary. Then Monday had to take the L to the Knicks.
To the who?
Whatever.
Wait, who'd you lose to?
One more time.
The Knicks, the New York Knicks. We lost the Knicks. Okay, yeah, it's their Super Bowl when they beat us. When we beat them, it's just Tuesday, so it's all good. And then tonight
Hey, dude, we're up 2-1.
Congratulations, hang the banner. Tonight we beat the Cavs at home. We got JB back. I think he did all right. He's still matched up. Huh?
You got the beep back?
JB.
The beep.
Just ignore him, bro.
He's masked up since he accidentally took an inadvertent elbow to the face from his teammate.
His other side of the greatest duo.
Right.
That's why he's leaving.
So yeah, they beat the Cavs tonight at home. Finally at home, 3-game road trip. It was nice. It was nice to beat the Cavs. They've had our number this year. JT dropped, I think he had 40 tonight. He had 40, 11, and 9, I think. So he's like one assist away from a triple-double. Having our starting 5 back is great. It's so nice to see all 5 of them healthy on the court at the same time because I have confidence that we can beat any team in the league when that starting 5 gets thrown out there. Yeah. Play the Knicks again on Sunday. Then we play the Cavs again on Monday. So this time we're going to be at the Real Garden on Sunday. Beat the Garden. So yeah, hopefully the Celtics can beat the Knicks. We'll see. I mean, if we don't, it's not the end of the world. Whatever.
Unlikely.
It's just another day. So yeah. All right, Kyle, what do you got? What do you got for us?
I'll let Jacob take it first here.
Interesting, because I feel like you're. If this would have happened on Monday, you would not be able to make this little argument. But
I got an argument for you.
I digress. Jazz went 2-1. Beat a OKC team, which is just, they're not special right now. Beat a lowly Spurs team, and then turned right around and lost to a lowly Spurs team. So at least, I feel like the Jazz have been. We had our thing where we blew the big lead against the Nuggets. So they had like that giant duel. We've had Kobe had his game to end his career, and then in a similar light, the Spurs just broke their terrible losing streak against the Jazz. So I guess I did see a stat. I don't know if this was yesterday, the day before, but the Jazz are 2.5 games out of like the 4 seed, but they're also 2.5 games out of like the 10 seed or the 12 seed or something. So the tank could be on, and maybe the Spurs winning is a sign of, hey, let's lose. But I don't know. Losing to a terrible team's never fun.
The West down the stretch is going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, I'm glad the Jazz.
Everybody's so close.
this is the perfect time for the Jazz to not be in. Because if we are,
Yeah.
you have the worst odds right now to come out of the West. So then you just kind of play like probably what the Knicks, the Raptors, or the Bucks out of the East.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So yeah, I think just right now, right now, it was a good time to sell. Hopefully lose some games, get a nice couple picks, maybe trade away a pick, sign a big free agent, and then I don't know. I guess I'll just trust. I'll trust the Ainge monster. But
You should.
Mm.
Great GM.
yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it spans. Got a long time to before I can make any judgments.
So Kyle, last but not least,
Yeah.
how the Spurs doing?
Terrible, as usual. We, as Jacob mentioned, ended our 16-game losing streak to the Utah Jazz. This is probably the most, as of this year, I keep up with the Spurs is doing this podcast. Just because I hate to watch losing basketball, right? I don't want to be a part of that right now. I don't want to watch us get absolutely destroyed, especially by a team like the Utah Jazz.
What a fake fan.
I tuned in for the NBA Pick'em game, and we were winning. I started watching, then we lost. So I won't be watching any more games probably. I actually didn't even know that they were playing the Jazz again until halfway through the third quarter when you guys sent it to me. But after watching, I watched starting at halftime, so the third quarter on for that game. I understand why we are so bad. We just take the most outrageous shots I have ever seen. I mean, 1 second into the shot clock, bro. I mean, like shit, like that's exaggeration, but maybe a couple seconds in. But either way, it's the first person to touch the ball on the other side of half court or mid court, and they pull up for a three. We don't have 3-point shooters besides Doug McDermott, who sits on the bench majority of the game anyway. So I really understood after watching that game how bad of a team we are.
Does it seem like, because I mean I would say that Pop is kind of this like our generation's, he's like the god coach, right? Do you think does it seem like maybe Pop is just letting the tank happen? Does that what it felt like? Because he usually has his teams working pretty damn hard.
I don't doubt their grit, their grind. I think that's still instilled in them through Pop.
That's Memphis.
But I wouldn't be upset to see Pop go. I do think he still has his
I think it's his time.
Older play styles. I wouldn't say loop. I guess I wouldn't necessarily say losing it just because I feel like if he, just like any other good coach, just kind of adjusted to how the game is played today, would be better off. But you see really good spurts of what are the Spurs most known for, really, when it comes down to like offensive
fundamentals, baby.
Fundamentals and ball passing the ball.
And balls.
Passing the balls. They're really good at creating the open shot by just continuously passing the ball until that one person is open. You can still do that, and you see spurts of that every once in a while. Like, oh shit, he made that extra pass, and then he made another extra pass, and then boom, wide open three that we missed. But like you see, it's there. It's possible. But I do think it's time to kind of maybe take a step back, bring somebody in that's maybe a little bit more modern, and that's a little bit harder for basketball, I would say, than it is for Texas A&M, for example. Like Jimbo Fisher's an outdated play caller. You're kind of always adjusting with basketball. I mean, you can't really stay in a older mindset because it's going to work regardless. And in the old days, what was it? It was drive to the hoop and score. You can still do that in today's game, but now we just kind of see it more so on the perimeter than it is driving. So I think it's a little bit harder to say than it is for football. But we're 1-10 in the month of September thanks to the Jazz. What did I just say? February. What did I say?
September.
I said September. Jesus Christ.
You good, bro?
Jeez.
Yeah, I'm good. I don't know. Anyway, 1-10 in the month of February, and we're 3-23 since the start of the new year. So the only thing that I enjoyed watching us beat the Jazz because it was the Jazz and it's Jacob's team. But I would have much rather lost because now we are 2 games back of the worst record in the league to the Rockets, and I don't think they're going to win anytime soon. They don't look very good either. So
y'all actually play the Rockets on Friday, I think.
Battle of the
Either
worst teams.
tomorrow.
It's about to be like
Either tomorrow
65
or
to
Friday.
62.
Yeah, so I kind of hope we lose that game just to pull us in within a game of them.
It's gonna
If
be
we really
either
wanna get-
65 or to 62 or 150 to 147.
I'm cool with either. I just want Victor Wimby, so I'm cool either way.
So you just get posted up by every team center. Okay.
Let him come in and let Timmy Duncan show how shit's done.
Yeah,
You're about to have
Mr. Fundamental
You're
himself.
about
Watch out.
Curry's about to be
Watch
dropping
out.
that guy down in the post.
Watch out.
Yeah. So this last week we did our pick'em. Shout out to I was saying it first. Shout out to Jacob. He was 5-0 this week.
Has that been done yet?
Congrats.
Let me. I'm about to.
Yeah, it actually has. Yeah, why don't you check that for us?
Colton
Has anyone
did.
has anyone been 5-0 yet?
I want to say he did it the first week.
To be fair, it was. To be fair, though,
cool.
I'm gonna give my one argument for that. Me, Kyle, and Nate all had fun with it and took fucking San Antonio to win.
Congratulations.
No excuses. Hey, we lost that round.
I was being fun and taking the Pelicans, beating the Raptors on the road.
The Raptors haven't been great.
They're still the 5 seed. The
They
Pelicans
just
are
haven't
ass.
been good. They haven't been great.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
I
congratulations.
don't care.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Invalidating everything.
Thank you.
You're still garbage.
Yeah. So Jacob went 5-0. Nick went 4-1. I went 3-2, and Kyle went 2-3. So that puts Jacob on top right now at 17-6. Me and Nick are both tied at 14-9, and Kyle is taking up the rear at 13.
He's what? He's taking it
Taking
up. Oh, okay.
Taking up the rear.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Can we continue?
Of course.
So 5 games I got for us this week. The first one being tomorrow. We got the Raptors at the Wizards. Me personally, I'm gonna take the Raptors. The Wizards suck. Simple as that.
What happened the
remember
last time you doubted the Raptors?
The last time,
Wait a minute, yeah.
Yep. You can do it.
Hey, you did. Charlotte won. Last time. My bad.
But
you
I'm not
continue.
doubting the
My bad.
Raptors.
My bad.
I literally picked the Raptors. How am I doubting
Oh,
them?
yeah, you're right.
I'd also like to point out that the Raptors are 9 seed, not the 5th seed.
Got him.
Anyway, who's going next? Nick, go ahead.
Hold on. I'm checking their records really quick.
Can't just make a gut decision.
No, dude, because they're like the same. Toronto's 9, Washington's
The whole point
10.
of the pick'em is to do it all fucker.
I will say.
Okay,
Injury
I'm gonna
report.
pick Washington. Is Bradley Beal playing?
Should be.
God.
Probably.
Okay. Give me Washington, man.
I like it. Kyle?
I'm gonna go Washington as well.
I'm going Washington too.
My man.
Okay. Interesting.
My
Fine.
guys, hell yeah.
So on Friday we got a potential playoff matchup. It's a really interesting matchup. It's gonna be a really good game, especially after the Clippers just traded for Russ. So we got the team with all the experience versus the team with basically no experience. Got the Clippers at Sacramento team. Sorry, I blanked on their name for a second. I don't know. This is a tough one. This is gonna be a good game. You got a bunch of old veterans that trying to make that one last push with the Clippers, and then you got the young guns with Sabonis, Darren Fox. Malik Monk. That's the one I was thinking of. Dude, he balled. That game the other night, the double OT,
And
like
that was-
178 one. That was insane.
That
I woke
was
up and I thought that was
Sacramento
fake.
too. That was this
Oh,
game.
was it?
This is a rematch of that.
Ooh. Give me Sacramento, man. Light the beam.
Think they do it
Light
again?
the beam.
Okay. Anyone?
I think I'm gonna roll with the Clippers. I went with them. I think this past pick 'em, it didn't really work out. I don't think,
Yeah, because they played
if I'm
Denver.
not mistaken. Yeah, played Denver, which is a good team. I think I got to roll with them and let them get the redemption here.
Okay.
Nice. Nick, what you got?
Tough one, man. I went with the Clippers last week, got burned. Everything says I shouldn't go with them, but give me the Clippers, man.
Yes, sir.
I want the beam, but I don't know, something.
Light the
It's the
beam.
balls. The balls, Kyle. The tingle. The tingle in the balls.
tingle.
I'm feeling it.
Yes, sir.
So
All right. Thank you for that, Nick.
I was so close to having the ability to blindly root for Russell Westbrook. He could have joined the Jazz, been a good veteran influence, but he didn't. He said, you know what? I'm gonna get out of here and lose to Sacramento. I want the beam to be lit. I want Sabonis to drop a triple double. De'Aaron Fox, I'm calling it right now. Sabonis is going to have 22, 12, and 12. 22, 12, and 10. I want De'Aaron Fox, he's going to drop 35. Malink Monk's going to have a very quiet 18. Everybody else will contribute type game. Quote me on that. Well, let's check on it next week. Or was that Friday?
I wrote it
Yeah,
down.
Friday.
I wrote it down.
Okay.
And you said Monk was gonna have what?
A quiet 18.
A quiet like 18-ish. He's not gonna have a crazy
18.
good game, but he'll play some good defense. That's what I'm feeling, you know.
So I want to reiterate this. So Sabonis is dropping 22, 12, and 10.
I like it.
Fox is dropping 35.
Yeah, he's gonna have easily.
And Monk is having a quiet. No, you said 35. Let's be specific.
Okay.
Let's be
You did say 35.
specific now.
I'm happy with 35.
And let's go Monk. Shut up. And we'll go Monk with a quiet 18.
I like it.
Clip it.
I love
I
it.
can't wait for them to get blown the fuck out. And every one of them has like 15.
And I can't wait for them to go over what I predicted. Oh my god, that'd be amazing.
Oh my god.
Now if they blow out my predictions and lose, I'm gonna be a little pissed. But you know.
We need the beam to be lit, baby.
Hell yeah.
All right.
If the Clippers screw me, I'm done.
I agree with you. I agree.
That's how Clippers fans feel. Let's be real.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
straight up. But hey, they're getting a new arena. They're not going to be living in the Lakers shadow anymore.
I mean, really, the Lakers are in their shadow, honestly, right now.
Not really. I mean, the Lakers are hot
They
right now.
suck.
The Lakers are playing pretty good right now. Better than they were.
Braun got hurt, so it's all out the window now.
Yep.
And AD's not playing, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, well, if he falls, he's out for 2 weeks.
Yeah, he's Dr. Glass, or Mr. Glass, whatever that character's name is.
Mr. Class.
All right, so Saturday night, we got the Hawks at the Heat. Hawks are the definition of mid, even with Quinn Snyder coming to coach them. Give me the Heat. The Heat at home. Taking the Heat.
I rock with the Heat as well.
So yeah, Jacob. This is your boy Quinn.
Nick,
what do you?
Nick?
Okay, Nick.
Yes,
Well,
Quinn. Nah, man, I wouldn't go last. You go. You haven't gone last yet.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
you started me off on a great little segue there, Colton. Quinn
I
Snyder's
was trying to.
Quinn Snyder's my guy. I think he got. I think what happened was, it just happened. I mean, it was his time. He'd been there for so long. They were going a different route. But little side story. I mean, I don't know if Kyle necessarily knows this. I know I've told Nick and Colton. But I work for a youth sports organization, and walk in on opening day of our basketball program, and I'm just doing my little rounds, making sure games are going smooth, interacting with parents like I always do. And I look over. I went on to the court, fixed something. I think I told the referee, like, hey man, make sure they're not double teaming or whatever it was. Walk off the court. Quinn fucking Snyder standing there right in front of me. And I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. So I had to stop for a second, gather myself, which I didn't do. Went up there and fangirled for a little bit, and then every week I'd have a conversation with him. Multiple times I was like trying to guess who he was going to sign with. And He was like, "Nah, I'm taking a break," and then now he's up in Atlanta. So, yeah. With all that being said, I got a ride with him. He's my guy. One thing that I would like to point out, if y'all look at pictures of him from whenever he was with the Jazz still, he looked like he was just one of the most stressed out individuals of all time. And
If I had to
then,
live in Utah, I would be too.
okay.
Just a joke. Just
But I mean, even like with my short interactions with him, I mean that was 7 weekends where I interacted with him for 3 hours. I mean, I interacted with him for 15 minutes, but he was there for 2-3 hours. Um, he looked a whole lot better, and I saw him in his his onboarding interview, whatever they call him nowadays. And he looks like he's not just stressed out 24/7. So
Rejuvenated.
100%. I think they lost, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think. But to be fair, that team's not great. Um,
And I wouldn't
Which
put
is
too much of
funny.
that on him either,
Oh,
because
not
it's kind
at
of hard to
all.
come in, especially if you have a different system than what the previous coach
for
had.
sure. And
Yeah.
you're a defensive coach, and you got Trey Young as your star.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Which was funny because
Is-
the Hawks were supposed to be really good this year. They were supposed to, they
They've
made a couple moves. They were supposed to be one of the top seeds in the
Yeah.
East, and now it's just like
because they went out and spent
The
all that
Hawks.
on DeJounte Murray, and he's
Yep.
done
Is he a good
nothing
defender?
Wa-
or is
Watch
he
your
just a
mouth.
scorer?
DeJounte can defend.
Is
if
he
you
good
want.
Really.
defender?
I think it's a thing where like a lot of these players they go to Atlanta, and Atlanta is very easily not a. I mean, it's a sports town because there's a lot of sports there, but there's a lot of extracurricular to do in Atlanta. So I think
You
that
know why Quinn went?
Shout out Lou Will.
hey, I mean, I don't know. No comment because I mean Quinn's my guy. Hopefully somehow this ends up in his YouTube feed. He's like, hey, I remember that guy. But yeah, no. With all that being said, that was a long, very long way of me saying I'm going with the Hawks this week. I have to. I have to. It's just
I
I
mean,
would be betraying Quinn.
Quinn's going to get those big booty bitches, man.
Okay.
Out in Atlanta, man.
All right.
He's better go hit up Magic City, dude.
Quinn, I do not agree with this man. He's saying this on his own accord.
Give me the Heat, man. I'll take the Heat. I don't. I fuck Trae Young, dude. I'm not gonna pick the Hawks.
Okay.
I just don't like Trae Young.
To each his
Very
own.
nice, very nice.
What's that next one, Colton?
on Sunday, kind of a lackluster game considering the Pacers at the Bulls. Lonzo out for the year. Hope his knee gets better, but he's out for the year. Tyrese Halliburton's been balling, so I mean I'm gonna go with the Pacers here. Levine's been balling too, but I mean I got so much respect for Halliburton. I really like his gameplay and the way he plays. Happy that he was an All-Star this year. But,
That's nice. Good pick. I think I'm kind of torn because I like Levine. If I'm not mistaken, DeMar is still playing for them. That's tough. I think I'll roll with Chicago.
Chicago. Okay.
How you feeling there, Jacob?
Oh, I'm next. All right.
Yeah,
I
you-
think that there's a valid argument for both. The Pacers, like Colton's saying, I love Halliburton. What's that guy? They got a rookie this year who's been balling out.
Benedict Mathurin.
Yeah, he's been balling.
Who's Benedict?
Yeah. Miles Turner is always a very good player. But I will say the
Shout out
Bulls.
UT.
Who that? Who?
Shout out
So
UT.
shout out UT.
Shane,
Miles
he
Turner
played-
played for Texas.
Oh,
Play for Tennessee?
Oh, got you. Okay.
Oh man.
But the Bulls, I think, actually had a very underrated pickup in Patrick Beverley. I think that he brings to that team something that they needed, and that's an outspoken player. DeMar DeRozan's not outspoken. What's his face? The center.
Bald Mamba.
Yeah,
Alex
Caruso's not
Caruso.
outspoken. The Vucevic is not outspoken. Zach LaVine's really not outspoken. He's just he sometimes says things that are highlight worthy, but I think Patrick Beverley, the thing that he said, he came in and he just told, like, hey, Zach, your role is to not pass the ball. I think that's what they needed to, like, give those younger guys the authority to go in there and just ball out. So I'm going Chicago. I think that was an amazing pickup by them. Patrick Beverley is often, like, not seen as, like, a great player, but
He's a fantastic leader.
Yep, can come in and set the mentality. I think that's what they needed, though. So I'm rolling with Kyle. Dangerous game to play, but
what they need is Lonzo's need to not be fucked though.
Well, that's never gonna happen. So
yeah. Is Lonzo what you think he really is, though, or what people thought he really was?
Maybe not.
Does he make that big of a difference?
Maybe not. Maybe not the second pick, but he's been playing, like, his years in Chicago have been really good. He's been playing very well. He's turned into an above-average defender. He fixed his shot. He's been a great three-point shooter. He's been a great facilitator of the ball. He's been really underrated once he got to Chicago. And I just wish he was not injured.
Yeah, and it seems like whenever he came in, everybody had the usual, like, the top 3-5 expectation of Hall of Famer, and his floor became a great role player.
Yeah,
I'll take that any day, honestly.
I think he's got a bad rap from the start. People thought he was going to be coming in scoring left and right, and doing all this. No, dude, he's a playmaker first. He's a good defender. He's a traditional point guard, and I think people labeled him as like, oh, he's going to score, and
partly
blah blah blah. But
I think that had a huge impact.
He gets a lot of hate because of his dad, and once you look past his dad and you just look at him as a player and a person, I kind of like him. So.
Yeah, like you said, dude, I wish he was a hurt, man, because he's a good player. He can.
Yeah. He's been really good once he got to Chicago, but unfortunately his knee isn't holding up. Nick, who you got?
I'm, Jacob, actually, you kind of sold me there. I was leaning the other way, but I'm gonna go Chicago because they need a guy there to take all the heat off of them and onto himself.
Yep,
he's gonna say something like something clickbait worthy, so people can focus on him and they just go out and ball.
Yep, he'll have some.
And it's like the Draymond. Yeah, it's like the Draymond effect. They're not great players, but they're great leaders. They'll do great team players. So
Draymond plays with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, but
sure, that's also different.
Two of the greatest shooters of all time.
Yeah, but Draymond makes them better as well, I feel.
Yeah, but Curry is also the greatest shooter of all time.
Well, but it's kind of same role.
He's comparing them in the same way, like
magnitude. Less magnitude. Just
Colton understands. Anyway, this could be a very good week for Colton or a very bad week for Colton.
Yeah.
Yes, I would say it's because that's two of these matchups where me, Nick, and Kyle picked the same exact so far.
Just me.
This could be bad. Bad for y'all. I'm already in last place, right?
I should take whoever the other team is.
Nope,
but
you're not changed yet.
Jacob. No, I'm sold on Chicago, man.
Let's go.
So next Monday we got a battle of the heavyweights. This is like the number 1 seed versus number 2 seed kind of.
I think it's number 1 out of the West, number 1 out of the East. Let's be honest.
Yeah, we got the Portland Trailblazers at the Detroit Pistons. Going to be an absolute heavyweight matchup. Cannot wait to see this game played on Nickelodeon.
Actually.
No.
Yeah, well, Dame is going to win the MVP.
MVP.
Yeah, Dame is.
He's going to get slimed.
Dame is.
I don't ever want to hear those words come out of your mouth anymore.
Dame is just on another planet, man. 71 the other night. My
I think I saw
God.
His line was like 35.5 points.
What's his high?
Christ. That's insanely high.
It's ridiculously high.
I don't
imagine taking the
That's
over.
Really high.
I think I saw someone say that the closest, the last time that it was even close, was James Harden at Houston. Whenever he was getting like 40-point triple doubles every night, that's like 5-6 years ago, but it says a lot,
Crazy. Yeah, give me the Trailblazers. Detroit is still ass. But especially because they don't have Cade Cunningham. I mean, Pistons are ass. Damon's going to drop like 97 on them.
Jesus Christ. I'll rock with you there, Colton. I think I'll roll the old Blazers.
Yeah. Do you know when they're gonna play the Trailblazers and Spurs playing Austin at the Moody Center? Do you know when that game is?
This season?
The Trailblazers playing?
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
There's 2 games. There's 2 NBA games being played at the Moody Center.
Oh, they already played them.
Oh, did they?
I'm pretty sure they already played them. Yeah. Because
I
I was looking. No, that wasn't that one. I was looking at the Alamo Dome tickets for those. Jesus Christ, those things were like $400 to sit in the nosebleeds.
Damn.
That was like the record-breaking game. If you want to
Oh yeah, so it's Thursday, Thursday, April 6th, and Saturday, April 8th.
So they haven't done it yet.
Yeah, the Spurs are going to be playing 2 games. Cool. They're hosting the Trailblazers and the Timberwolves.
Nice.
Oh, I may consider trying to get tickets to that Timberwolves game.
Let me know.
That's a Saturday game because I know you want to go see the Stifle Tower.
Yes, sir.
COVID boy himself.
Hey, let's go. Let's go, Jacob.
I'm down. If any of y'all are down, let's do it.
We'll look at it.
April 8th.
I'm in.
Honestly, we don't have spring practice that weekend. I think I might be in town.
Dude, that'd be sick.
Really?
I'm down. But back to the
pick.
Let me.
Just somebody pick.
Kyle and Nick.
I already went Blazers.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm doing Blazers.
Okay. Pretty sure this is gonna be the consensus pick.
I really want to do a flipperoonie because I love my boy.
Go ahead, please.
I love Bogey. I love Bogey. But out of a purely pick'em standpoint, I'm gonna go with the. It's Dame time, So.
Dude, what if we all get fucked? I have a feeling.
At least we do it together.
It's fine. Yeah.
We did it together.
If the Pistons win, all I can say is "told you so." So.
Yeah, true.
I mean, okay. All right. So this is gonna be a good debated topic. So, top 5 all time. I got my 5. I don't really want to go first.
I can go first. I'm more than happy to go first.
Okay. Go ahead. Go
y'all want me to start at 5?
Yeah, start at 5.
Yep.
All right, 5. I'm gonna go Shaq. I think Shaq. But while doing my little research, I was curious to see what all the professional sports people thought. A lot of people had him like 10. Like, wait, I don't know. I just don't like that. Domination is what Shaq was. And I think if you dominate everybody like that, you got to be top 5. Number 4, Colton's going to love this. The fundamental gods are going to love this.
Yes.
I'm going Larry Bird.
Yes, sir.
If you've ever seen any sort of documentaries of sports history, NBA history, when you have the people that are considered GOATs saying that Larry Bird was that guy, it's hard to argue against him. He could shoot. He could do a little bit of everything.
He's the last person to ever win back-to-back MVP.
Let's see if Jokic can do it. That'd be sick.
Yep.
My number 3, I feel like my top 3 are pretty basic, though. I got Kareem at 3. LeBron at 2. And Michael Jordan at 1. Yep.
Nice.
I would say, my argument for that really comes down to, if you look at what they've done, right? So, you can say all you want about, Michael Jordan always had a really good team. That is true. But, LeBron has most of the time had it. He bailed from Cleveland because he knew there was not going to be a ring getting won with that team. Went to Miami with a stacked squad. Kyrie ends up in Cleveland, goes back because of Kyrie. And then now, Kyrie and Kevin Love. Then he ends up in LA for the money. Let's be real. It was for the money. And then they got AD, won that trophy, which however you want to feel about it, they did win. So they got a
Mickey Mouse.
I agree, but they did get the trophy.
Yep,
so
sure did.
Is what it is. But again, Michael Jordan, he took an entire year off, and then came back the next year, like halfway into the season, it was I think, and it's kind of hard to win that year. So Michael Jordan could have had like 8 rings. So he kind of blessed the league a little bit and took some time off. So that's really what it is for me. I would say that LeBron's longevity has. I mean, it's a very tough 1 and 2. I think you're easily getting in that area of era talk. But yeah, I'm going MJ number 1.
Yeah, I see the looks that you're getting, so I'm gonna go ahead and say mine because I know I'm gonna get the same looks.
Yes, sir.
My top 5 is basically the same as yours, except Shaq and Larry Bird or Flip. I got Shaq at 4. I think any publication that doesn't put Shaq in the top 5 is just absolutely just wrong. You're lying to yourself. Nobody has ever dominated the game the way that he dominated. If he had Kobe's mentality, he would have been the greatest of all time. He would have. He just didn't care about it as much. Like he was just, I'm bigger than everybody else. I'm gonna bullshit around sometimes. I'm not gonna take it as serious. And he said that. This is not me thinking that. He legit said that he just didn't take it as seriously.
Yep.
And I truly think he had Kobe's mentality. He would have been the best of all time. Which it was definitely hard not putting Kobe top 5. I think he's probably there at 6. But this is purely top 5. So Larry at 5, Shaq at 4, Kareem at 3, Braun at 2, Jordan at 1.
I like it. For some reason, I really like your list, Colton.
I really like yours. I really like yours too, man. Those are some great lists. I mean, Jordan speaks for himself, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, LeBron, great player. I do think that the medical technologies that we have now today has definitely improved like you said, his longevity. And I would be interested to see if you put MJ in this era with this medical advancements to see like if he took care of his body the same way LeBron did. I would be very interested to see how their careers played out. It's nothing against LeBron. It's a great thing that he takes care of the way his body, the way that he does, because I mean, why not? He's being so smart about it. I mean, he just broke the all-time scoring record. I mean, I hate him on the court because he's always kicked the Celtics ass. Like growing up, that was all I remember. The Heat just coming in, getting the meme where Game 6 LeBron, like that shit comes from the damn Celtics series in 2013. Like, hate him on the court, but I mean, you can't deny greatness. I mean, it's not easy ranking these guys 1 and 2. It's more like a 1A, 1B kind of deal.
Yep.
So.
And being number 2 to fucking Michael Jordan. Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever. But since we got some pretty funny looks over here, I'm interested to see how this goes. So, whoever wants to start, just go ahead. Go ahead, Nate.
All right. Yeah. So, all right, I got 5. I got Steph. He changed the game, man.
I like that.
Best 3-point shooter of all time. 5, I think Steph's all right. 4, I'm gonna go Kareem. Kareem. 3, I'm gonna do Shaq. Dominance. Shaq. I'm gonna do LeBron 1, MJ 2. I'm gonna go LeBron as the GOAT. And listen. Okay, he's the all-time scoring record. Okay, and he's not even a scorer. He's a playmaker first, and he has an all-time scoring record. And on top of that, okay, listen.
Come on.
I love MJ. I'm not a Bron sexual. I hate LeBron. But dude, he's the GOAT, man. How can you, like, at this point, all-time leading scorer? He has rings. He's gone to like 10 straight finals. That's crazy.
How much longer has he played than Jordan did?
That's another thing, Longe. Like, I know you're saying the medical science that affects it.
Yeah,
but like, dude, he's 40, and he's still averaging the same numbers he did when he was
My
25.
only
That's
argument,
crazy.
I think every argument that you can make for LeBron is valid. I think again, it's a very easily you could be one or two. It's just sometimes just how I feel that day. But to say that LeBron is not a scorer and he
Fucking ridiculous.
just overtook the all-time scoring leader.
Okay, he's a scorer, but dude,
bogus.
he's more of a playmaker than MJ was. Of course, right? We can
Now
agree
he
on
is.
that.
Now he is.
He's always been. He's always been more of a playmaker than MJ, bro.
This recency bias is kicking you in the ass right now.
Dude,
Hey.
let me look up his stats. No, I want to look up his stats. Kyle, I want
None
you to
of us
go.
ever watched MJ play live. We grew up watching LeBron. Simple as that.
Blow me. Watch.
Okay. Well, for my top 5, I think we all. I'm glad we all had this guy in there. I got 5. I got Shaq. Colton said, as Jacob said, as Nick said. I mean, one of, if not the most dominant player that basketball has ever seen. I wish he had Kobe mentality. I wouldn't even imagine. You can't even comprehend what kind of player he would have been if he had that type of mentality. 4, I'm not super surprised, but kind of surprised at the same time. Nobody had this guy in top 5. 4, I got the greatest point guard of all time, Magic Johnson.
That's valid. I think he's top 10.
I think he deserves to be up there. Speaks for
Magic.
himself. 3, we kind of got them all in the same spot. 3, I think we kind of all got him at the same spot. Kareem speaks for himself, right? Kareem's Kareem. And then I'll go Nick's route, and I'll get Bron at 1.
My man.
And MJ at 2. For the majority of the people that know me, they know I am not a what-if guy. I try my hardest not to look at what if. I look at these stats. I look at what happened, regardless of what era they were in, regardless of what team they played for, who they played with, all that stuff. When you have the accolades that Bron has, and you look at MJ's accolades.
If you look at it from that standpoint, then MJ should be your number 1.
I agree.
If you're looking at just strictly awards,
if you look at an overall career, yes, MJ had more MVPs. Sure,
he's got more MVPs,
more
he's got
finals,
more scoring titles. He's got more defensive players of the year.
And then that's where I'm gonna go. Stop interrupting me. That's where I'm going with Nick, because MJ is him offensively. He is him. LeBron was never really looked at like that guy. And then now we can bring in the era into this. Look at the scorers that that LeBron is going against. You got Harden, you got Curry, you got all these guys that are, when the game has changed, that is not LeBron's game. And we can also argue because he got, what does that have to do with scoring titles?
You said he's going up against.
Obviously. I thought that was kind of spoke for itself when I was talking about those guys. No, not playoffs.
Okay.
Not in the playoffs. I respect Jordan 6-0 in the finals. That is very impressive. But I don't think we can fault LeBron for going 4-9 or whatever he is in the playoffs when he made 10 straight finals, I believe the number is, and he goes up against arguably the greatest team to ever assemble in the league.
Nobody's faulting him for 20.
I'm not saying you are, buddy. I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying people in general.
I do agree.
He got waxed by 2011 Dirk, though.
Dirk was different, bro. That team was different.
I will say that LeBron.
Yeah, but he ain't top 5.
LeBron easily has the absolutely best ring, but he also has one of the most debatable rings, which is crazy to have. You have him against that world beater of a squad with Golden State, and what he did, and that was, if I was him, I would never ever. I would introduce myself as, whatever year it was, 2016. Hey, by the way, my name is LeBron James. I beat the Warriors in 2016. I would introduce myself by that all the time. But
down 3-1.
Yeah, which again, literally the greatest title of all time in my opinion. But
that was before they had KD, so they weren't the greatest team of all time. Not yet.
They were
73-9
Warriors.
Yeah.
Was that what? Oh, that was a 73. Okay, never mind. I retract my statement.
Yeah, that was an absolutely bonkers ring.
Yeah, that was insane. I mean,
MJ is undefeated, so.
What was
And he also
what was his most debatable ring that you said, or like the worst championship ring he's won?
The bubble one. That
the
was
bubble ring.
I think you can. I think that's you can argue it from the standpoint of, hey, there was no fans, so all players were locked in. All players are on the best that they can play. But you had zero. There was no home court advantage. There was no fan impact. I don't know. I think that, in my opinion, it's almost a wash.
The only argument that I have for that is that the NBA players, and I kind of agree with you at the same time, but at the same, like I'm saying, like I'm going to bring up, the fans, or excuse me, the players came out and said that was the absolute hardest environment that they have ever played in.
Yeah,
without
because
fans.
it brings out who truly likes basketball and who's just there to make a bag. And it's no surprise that Braun won.
The fan,
because Braun truly loves basketball, and so it doesn't surprise me that his team is the one that
I
won.
don't know. I think everything kind of added up for LeBron to win it, though, because that was the year that unfortunately Kobe died. COVID hit. I mean, that was literally
He was able to take off 3 months
yes,
to prepare.
yes.
That did help.
Again, there goes LeBron and his. I mean, LeBron is the king of load management. It seems. Second to AD, of course, but. Yeah,
Kawhi's up there pretty bad too.
Yeah, that's true. But he has the Zaza effect. Zaza Pachulia. Zaza Pachulia.
The Zaza effect.
Don't remind me, bro, because that's when that was when he was with San Antonio, bro. That was our year. That was the year.
Now, I would say, actually, I think the second best ring of all time might just be Kawhi with, or it's either, again, this is my years of existing. I think it's either the Kawhi with the Raptors, because he had like the shot against Philly, one of the craziest shots of all time. But then you also have Giannis's ring. I think Giannis's ring is up there.
Oh yeah, Giannis's ring is so impressive.
Yeah, but again, LeBron. I mean, again, he made what 13? He made double-digit finals, but that's a lot of times.
It was like 10 in a row.
Yeah, can't take it from like away from
I mean,
him.
James Jones made 9 in a row, but you know.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think that it seems like LeBron's division has over the years been relatively weak. I would say, not necessarily cakewalks, but nothing insane. So.
This could go on forever.
The East has been weak.
For sure.
The East has been weak for a long. The East
I just want to point out
stronger, and he went to the West.
True, but I just want to point out, back to the playmaking thing, Jordan averaged over 6 assists in a season 3 times. LeBron has done it every year except his rookie year.
To be fair, they score an average of like 110 points nowadays, and they have tons of possessions. And back whenever MJ played, they would score like 92, and that'd be a crazy good game.
And you're also asking the arguably the greatest basketball player of all time to give up the ball when he's a shooting guard, when his job is to literally shoot the ball.
Won 6 finals in a row, and you say, hey, MJ, can you please shoot it, or can you please pass it to Steve Kerr, or to Scottie Pippen that can't shoot, or to Dennis Rodman that can't shoot? Scottie Pippen could shoot somewhat, but Dennis Rodman?
I mean...
so. Again, this could go on all day, I think.
Yeah, you can argue that
it's not 1 and 2. It's 1A, 1B. There is no 1 and 2 because you argue for MJ, and all of your points are valid. We argue for Braun. All of our points are valid.
Yeah.
It just depends on what you and it's always usually the old heads going for Jordan because they got to watch him live, and a lot of us in our generation we got to see LeBron live, so it's going to be LeBron for us.
Yeah, I got to watch LeBron firsthand kick my Celtics ass for years on end, so I kind of hold that against him.
It's always going to be a debate.
Bill Russell. I'm very glad nobody said Bill Russell.
I love Bill Russell, but it was a long time ago.
I'm low key also happy that nobody said Kobe. R.I.P. He's top 10. He's top 10.
I think he's got to be top 10.
Like I said, he's probably 6. He's probably 6 for me.
I would say,
you can put others up there.
Will could be
yeah,
6.
You can. You absolutely can, but I'm putting him at 6.
Yeah. Okay.
Incorrect.
Okay. Whoa.
Okay. I'm personally putting him at 6. Okay.
Cool.
All right. Well, that was a good little debate. I liked it.
I like you,
Two
man.
of us were right, two of us were wrong. So
Yep.
It's all right.
I
It's
think
all right
that's
for you guys to
exactly
have
right.
wrong opinion. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, and yours is just wrong.
whoa,
Yeah.
Respectfully.
Like you said, yours is wrong. Like you
got
said,
him.
Kyle. My dad was saying that shit all the time. When I was little, he'd be like, "Yep, you were right." Well, that's
What's
not right.
next on the agenda?
Kyle, shut the fuck up, Jacob.
Whoa! I just laughed.
UFC. We got a big time fight this weekend. Nick, you got anything about that fight you'd like to tell us?
I'm gonna be there.
Yeah, cool invitation, bro.
I'll be there.
Cool
I'll be
AM.
Could have done a live
Dude.
podcast, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, Jacking Around will be there in spirit through me.
Let's go.
Well-
Let's go.
I'll live through you guys. Don't worry.
You're just gonna be
JCK
in
will be there
around.
in spirit.
But
JCK will be there in spirit, but Ian will actually be there.
You excited?
yeah, dude, I'm excited. It's gonna be a good time. I'm gonna go that weekend. During that day, the day of the fight, Saturday. During the day, I'm gonna golf. Might gamble a bit. Have a couple drinks, have a good time, and yeah, man, enjoy a fight. I'm gonna try and get as trashed as possible beforehand, and go and see John Jones catch a dub. But Kyle, I want to hear more from you since you're our resident UFC expert.
Yeah. So I actually think this is going to be a great main and co-main. I think the rest of UFC 285's main event list is kind of lackluster. Not a lot of big names as I think this card should have had with a return like John Jones. So the bottom three fights we'll kind of leave alone. We'll kind of just go with the co-main, which is a championship fight between Shevchenko and Grasso. And Jacob, I don't know if you have this
Yeah,
pulled up kind of
pulling
like
it up
last
right now.
time
Pulling it up right now.
how we had it.
I will say I do think you're lacking on a couple. I think there are a couple of the lower fights that are very interesting. Oh, I got really blurry.
Yeah, you kind of out of focus.
Yeah. It'll reset. Come on. Okay. Anyways,
It wants to. It wants to.
It wants to
It'll
so
work.
bad. But I would say that the interesting fights. There we go. The interesting fights. So in the prelims, you have Cody Garbrandt. At one point, he was something. He was.
Who shouldn't? He should be in the main event.
I agree. He's a big enough name.
Sure.
Right before that, you do have a middleweight where it's like 5 against 10, or I can just look. Yeah, 5 against 10. I think that'll be interesting. But a big sleeper that I actually really want to watch is actually, where is it? So it's the first match of the main card. You have Bo Nickel, or Nickel. I don't know exactly how to pronounce it. If I'm not mistaken, he's like this. He was like an undefeated wrestler all throughout his high school career, college career, undefeated, and then has been transitioning in the UFC, and I believe is undefeated in his MMA career. So
He's 3-0 right now.
yeah,
Dude,
that's
he doesn't even have a picture.
If
Yeah,
you look
he
at
does.
Like-
you look at the UFC website,
Official
Just
page.
Google,
He's
just
just a-
Google
Oh.
UFC 285.
he's just a
Oh, I was
Pasty
doing
white
it
guy.
on the ESPN app. Oh no.
yeah, just a pasty white guy
Yeah.
that can go out there and wrestle. So I think that's intriguing, especially with a lot of these. I mean, you got Islam, who's seen as a wrestler. All those guys that are just like wrestlers. It's like they're taking over the UFC. So I really want to watch that. Not to
like
steal
that.
from the two that you're talking about, but
Absolutely, no. Bo, that'll be a great fight. Which to your point too, when you brought up Derek Brunson versus Duplessis, that should be a main event. You have a number 5 versus a number 10 in the middleweight ranked fighters. When you have Bo Nickel and Jamie Pickett, who aren't ranked at all in middleweight,
Yep.
as the first fight in the main event
I
card.
think these guys could have been a fight night. They could have been at the head of
Exactly,
a fight
yeah.
night, but
Sure.
they want to just be on the John Jones card. That might be what they're doing. They might get more
Well,
eyes.
Maybe more money for being on a pay per view like that. Get maybe a
Probably.
bigger split, maybe. But And I want to just kind of reiterate that what you kind of to your point though. And I know you weren't saying this, but I'm not saying that these fights aren't going to be good. I just think we should have had more star-studded names and a big
100%.
return with John
Yeah.
Jones.
I agree with that.
I think it kind of
Especially-
lacks in that stardom aspect.
For sure.
But yeah, so going back to the co-main women's flyweight title championship between Valentina Shevchenko and Alexa Grasso. Shevchenko has a 9-fight win streak. 7 of those were title defenses. So she has defended her title 7 times. A couple of them have been close. She's gone to decision a couple of times, split decisions even, a couple knockouts in there. And I'm sure Jacob has it pulled up. He can let us know if she has any submissions. I don't believe so off the top of my head in the last 9 fights at least.
She's won 12% of her fights by submission. Looks like, I mean, she's had 26 fights. She's 23-3. So I mean, I don't.
It's a small little chunk. So I mean, it's possible. Anything's possible with these UFC fights, man. And anything can get knocked out. Submission, injury, all that kind of good stuff. Shevchenko is currently favored minus 730. So
Jesus.
Shevchenko's a dog. She is her. So I think that's kind of a unanimous. I think it'll be a quick and easy fight. Honestly, I don't know too much about Grasso, but Shevchenko is just. I mean, she was kind of like. I think right now she's kind of like as Amanda Nunes is, and kind of like how Ronda Rousey was, kind of back in her prime.
Did Nunes lose?
She did lose, and that was actually she just became a mother. I want to say that was her first fight back after being a mother. She came back and beat her ass. So Nunes is without a doubt the baddest woman in UFC, and Shevchenko is right behind her. Grasso's ranked number 6 in the flyweight. It's kind of like just I don't think anybody's really touching Shevchenko. So I encourage everybody, if you do and do some gambling, then I would put my money on Shevchenko. Take that with a grain of salt. I do not do very well.
Damn, dude, you're not even going with your fellow countrywoman?
No, she is from Mexico. I'm just gonna go with where the money's at, and I'll go with Shevchenko.
Where the money's at, though. I mean, she's such a favorite. Though you really got to throw
easy money. I'll go where the easy money's at.
Okay.
If I want to make some spare change, that's who I'm going with. Unless you want to put down thousands and thousands of dollars, by all means, you can go win 700 if you'd like to risk over 1,000. Jumping into the main event, as Nick already kind of gave out his prediction, you got John Jones returning from a 3-year drought from the UFC, coming in to fight the number 1 heavyweight contender in Cyril Gane. As I said, Jones has been out for 3 years. His last fight was in 2020, which was a light heavyweight fight, title defense, against Dominic Reyes. I believe it was, and so ended up winning that fight. It was a very close fight. Pulled it out. He was kind of looking for some more money from the UFC, and back then, even then in 2020, these fighters really weren't getting paid too well unless your name was Conor McGregor. So he felt like he was owed more money, kind of had some falling out with the UFC through that. Decided to give up his title because they couldn't agree to a deal. And he figured, from what I've read from my research, is that he figured that would kind of help the UFC realize that they need him. And then we stepped into the likes of Francis Ngannou, Cyril Gane came across, and these really good heavyweight fighters, Stipe Miocic, all these kind of guys stepped in and kind of filled that role of John Jones, where he quickly became, I wouldn't say forgotten, because he's easily the greatest UFC fighter of all time, in my opinion. He just had he got the title yanked from him a couple times due to performance-enhancing drugs.
I think he
doing drugs in general, cocaine.
And I think the one loss that he has on his record, if I'm not mistaken, is a disqualification.
It's a no contest.
I saw they recently changed like the rules on like the testing and how much you can have in your body. And if those rules would have been applied when John Jones, for all of his other fights, he would have never failed the test. So do with that what you will.
Yeah, sure. And I think it still speaks for himself, man. I mean, like I said,
I
I think
mean,
he's the
he's
greatest UFC fighter of
scary.
all time.
He's scary
He's
as
an animal,
shit. Yeah, I
literal
mean,
animal.
I am so ready to watch this fight. Like, I'm not gonna.
We were in line for a John Jones Francis Ngannou fight. Ngannou's contract fell out with the UFC, kind of taking the same route as John Jones. Felt like he deserved more, so we're not going to be able to see that, unfortunately. But we get to see a great heavyweight championship fight come UFC 285.
I did see a little headline saying, I believe it was from um, someone asked Dana White or something. Basically, they're asking him, um, I guess, what if this fight doesn't happen? What if something, injury, whatever, if anything does happen? And he was like, yeah, we do have a backup, but he would not reveal who it was. So, what if that is Ngannou? What if they?
We've seen it already. I mean, if you're talking in the aspect of John Jones getting replaced, which I think would
What
be
if
the only.
it's?
I don't think it'd be. I mean, I don't think it'd be Cyril Gane because I think
But
he hasn't done anything like that.
true.
And I think if that is true, it's a hoax, and they're making Gane back out because Francis Ngannou came to a deal with the UFC, and that's what people want to see. And that not only does that buy more pay per views if you release it day of type thing, gets a lot more hype. Poor Gane. But I think that's the case of John Jones maybe coming across a positive test, whether it be for actual drugs or PEDs. Um, we will see. And if it is Ngannou, then we see Ngannou and Cyril Gane again, which we've already seen Ngannou win. So I would definitely not buy the fight if that was the case. And I think if they hoax people into that and buying the fight, and then boom, it's Gane versus Ngannou, they need to return people's money, including Nick's for Vegas. Everything he lost in Vegas should be returned to him.
He's gonna win. He's not losing. He's winning.
I'm gonna win, man. Because I'm gonna put everything on John Jones, baby.
Oh God.
I think he comes back and I think he wins.
I
Gane
think so.
is a
I
different
think so,
heavyweight
too.
fighter, but Jones is it looks like he's in the best shape of his life.
But he was light heavyweight. Do you think the move up to heavyweight could affect him a bit? You know?
Maybe. But I think he's had enough time to train for this because I think he's been kind of eyeing the heavyweight for a while now. So I think he can kind of get used to it. Like I was saying, Gane is a kind of a different heavyweight fighter compared to most. He's not just a standing punch. He can throw head kicks like a freaking welterweight can, and it's powerful. So I wouldn't be surprised if Gane won just because of the hiatus Jones has had. But
They're
I still
both
rock with
very
John Jones.
similar sizes right now. They're both 6'4", have like. I think the one thing that I did see that had, I'm just making it clear. I am all in on John Jones. But the one kind of questionable thing I did see was I mean, obviously had to put on weight to go up to heavyweight, and he had like not like a belly, but in UFC fighter, in their world, he has someone of a belly on him, and I think it was John Jones that has even said before, if you got kind of a soft, stomach, that's going to be targeted, and Cyril can throw kicks, so he may take advantage of that. I don't know, but that's the only thing that had me kind of like, ooh, maybe not. But I hope John Jones comes in and just shows us why he's John Jones.
And I pulled the greatest shape of his life because that came from John Jones himself. Actually, he feels like he's in the greatest shape of his life. He's ready to rock. So I think if he's saying that, and it's John Jones, with belly or not, he's still him. So I'll rock with John Jones for sure.
I agree.
That's what a good fight. That's
Could be
also
great
good fights, man. Good fights.
Yeah, because you'll be there.
Yeah,
Hell
lucky
yeah.
you.
She.
I might go to the movie theater again and watch it. I went to the movie theater for 280. We just had those. If those idiots are behind me, we'll have our own UFC fight night in the middle of the
I hope it's
freaking.
the same people.
Dude,
Hope they're right next to you too.
No.
Nope. Not even behind you, literally right next to you.
I'm legit would beat them both up.
Sorry, Dad called me. I had to take that right quick.
It's all good, buddy.
No problem, man.
So yeah, I mean UFC 285 coming up this Saturday. Excited, ready to rock. If all of our UFC fans, again, leave a comment if you think we're just completely away from the truth, or if you kind of agree with us, and what are your predictions for 285?
Yep.
Sure.
All righty. Thank you for that, Kyle. Thanks for all the insight. I always enjoy listening to you go in depth on the USD. Yeah. Going to our next topic here. We got a little bit of music topic right quick. I was gonna say we could do what we've been listening to the past week, but I mean, if y'all would like to do that, we can.
I mean, I guess if
Mine's
there's
just
anything y'all that stands
mine's just
out.
mine's just the same as last week because I haven't really listened to any new music. But Young Nudie and Key Glock both dropped new albums that I need to listen to, so I gotta go do that.
Yeet also
But
dropped.
He did. You're not wrong.
He did
So-
actually.
yeah. So next thing is underrated album.
Wait.
Yeah.
I got one. Yeah, something.
Okay. Go ahead.
So-
Take it away.
There was another person that dropped some music that is kind of a hit or miss for me. Is Logic. Sometimes it's good, but most of the time for me, I just can't. But he did have one song that was interesting. And
Yes,
it's
I know what
called
you're talking about.
It's called Self Medication. Seth MacFarlane is in it. You know, creator of Family Guy, and he has the most magical voice.
He's
like
gorgeous.
he is Frank Sinatra 2.0. I would recommend listening to that song. And you'll be like, where is Seth MacFarlane? I don't hear him. And then just he comes down from the heavens. Oh my God, it's amazing. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, there's like that new Quavo song, where he kind of talks about Take Off and the Migos and all that. I like the song. Has some kind of sad, reasoning for it, but yeah, that's really it for me for this week.
Saw that
changed.
he said that in the song Quavo was talking about how there's obviously rest in peace Take Off. There can't be any more Migos, but he's talking about how it's not going to be a thing anymore. So
Yep.
it's unfortunate.
Which is how it should be, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, I mean you can't have Migos without Take Off. As simple as that.
It's like the Jackson 5, if one of them, or
Yeah.
all that.
Unfortunate, but Nick, you listening to anything new this week? What you got?
No, I mean, just kind of like the same stuff, really.
Yeah.
I haven't really.
Did Kyle take any car rides with you this week?
Did not.
No. I guess Don Toliver dropped an album. It was all right. My favorite song was "For Me" with Kali Uchis. It was a fun song, but other than that, pretty typical Don Toliver song. But other than that, not much.
What about you, Kyle? You dabbling in anything new this week?
Nothing new. Definitely some recent but kind of older stuff. I just actually got my car back from the dealership. Crazy long story. Finally got it back. Been in a rental. Rental doesn't have 210s in the trunk like my Honda Civic does. So when I just listened to some kind of bass filled songs, I guess you'd say. And one that I want people to listen to if they haven't listened to it before is from DJ Khaled's newest album, God Did, I believe. And it's called Big Time, featuring Future and Lil Durk. I think it's a banger. I love to listen to it in the car. Gets me fired up to go help some patients in PT. So that'd be my song of the week.
I got some subs myself, so I may need to throw that on when I'm going to work in the morning.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Sweet. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I haven't really been listening to anything new, but Nudie and Glock just dropped, so I need to get on that and listen to them. Yeah. So next little segment, a little underrated album, and obviously this doesn't have to be like it could have sold a lot, but not a lot of people that we all obviously listen to different music, so it could be underrated to us. I don't know who to start this out with, but just kind of whoever wants to go first, let's go.
Me?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, I'll rock it out. I actually have mine right in front of me. I got my trusty little vinyl record player here. Been kind of going crazy, and I'll go underrated artist more so than album. especially if you're in the country scene. I think he's very, very much leaving his mark right now, where he's starting to really get recognized. But it is I think I mentioned it too. He was actually in my top 5 artists when we talked about it. 34 song album that I have listened to every song to multiple times. It is American Heartbreak by Zach Bryan. If you don't know Zach Bryan, I very, very encourage you to listen to him. Give him a listen. He is a poetic music writer. He writes some. I think American Heartbreak is kind of like a theme for his life, kind of some stuff he's gone through, almost in chronological order. I want to say is what it was, but it's a very some very deep, touching songs on there. Some good upbeat songs. He's not your traditional modern country. He's definitely more of a I'd say a softer vibe than maybe, if that makes sense, of country. And like I
it's
said,
kind
just
of like the sad, slower country.
exactly, and like I said, it's poetic. Yeah, he really has a way with words that you haven't really heard anywhere else. So I definitely think he's an underrated artist on his way up, and I definitely recommend you guys give him a listen.
Badass. Definitely. I've heard a couple songs by him. He's, like you said, he's very poetic with his words. I like him. Definitely need to go listen to it a little bit more. But yeah. So
Yeah. I definitely,
my
you know,
album.
honestly. Oh, sorry, my bad, Cole.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say I don't listen to country much, but I do like those slower, you know, country songs. You know,
Yeah.
so I'll
Exactly.
check them out, man.
I'll tell you, it's a 34 song album. I don't want you just to go and choose a song and you click on it. You're like, man, this is ass. I'll tell you 2 songs right now. Something in the Orange, the Z and
Okay.
E version. Z and
Just
E version. Don't do his first original version. Z and E
Something in the Orange
version.
is just
Something in the Orange.
heavenly.
And what was the other one?
The Good I'll Do.
The Good I'll Do. Okay.
Something in the Orange. It's just. Oh
It's
my
different.
God.
It's
I
different.
I got nothing.
And what's his name again?
Zach Bryan.
Zach Bryan.
Is it with an H or a K?
H.
Zach.
And a
Zach.
BR, like Bryan,
Y.
Texas?
YAN. Yep, Bryan, Texas.
I'll give it a listen. I won't.
I will.
I'm not gonna sit here and shit on you, but I'll give it a listen.
Oh.
How we feeling, Nick?
Okay, so I got my album Alone at Prom by Tory Lanez. I know he shot Meg, I know, it's learn to separate the artist from the
art.
action, whatever. Yeah, art. There you go. But dude, that album is so fun, man. It's like an 80s album. It reminds me of like The Weeknd, kind of, that like poppy
Like Don
80s
FM-ish?
vibe. What was that?
Like Don FM?
Yeah. Kind of like Dawn FM, kind of like Starboy too. I love it, man. It's a fun album. I enjoy it. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You got a song for me that you
can't-
like?
Yes, Enchanted Waterfalls. Yeah,
I
probably
like
the
Tory
best song.
Lanez, so
Can't say I've ever sat down and listened to Tory Lanez, but
If I'm not
It's a-
mistaken,
mine.
It's a fun
he had
album.
one song that was on the album that I enjoyed, but it got taken off for some reason.
That's Enchanted Waterfalls. It got taken off. I don't know why.
So that might be a YouTube.
What the hell?
It was probably like a
SoundCloud.
Very true.
Or SoundCloud. Another good one, Lady of Namek. That one's really good too.
I've seen people like 87 Stingray, I think is what it's called.
That one's good. It's all right. But
if you haven't seen Sway's Universe on YouTube, it's Sway in the Morning. He's a talk show host, radio host. He had Tory Lanez on years and years ago. He's famous for letting these rappers come on there and do their freestyles. And so it's called the 5 Fingers of Death. It's a 9-minute freestyle that Tory Lanez absolutely murders. If you don't like Tory Lanez, again, I don't know why I keep saying very recommend. I really recommend you go and listen to that freestyle. It's a 9-minute video, and he just destroys 5 different beats and without a stop.
That's dope.
okay, I'll check that out, man. Yeah.
So for my underrated album, obviously I had to go with my favorite artist, 21. This album came out
Can you
in
do
27.
something for me?
This album came
I
out in
apologize.
2017. It had one of the bigger songs at the time on it, but the entire album itself, I think, is really underrated. Called Issa. It's the one with Bank Account on it. Obviously, the one,
Is
two,
that with
three,
a
four.
lot?
No, that's I Am is greater than I was.
Oh, got you.
That came out. That came out in 2018 or 2019. This was the 2017 album. He came out in the middle of summer. Had Bank Account on it, but has my favorite song that he's ever put out called "Close My Eyes." My favorite song he's ever put out. It's got a whole lot. Oh God, Bank Account, Bad Business. I love that album, and I really haven't. I don't other than Bank Account getting talked about. I don't really hear about that album, so I personally think it's underrated. It might have went gold or platinum. I don't know, but I think it's personally underrated.
I like
But
that.
Nice.
yeah,
Very nice.
gotta
Can't go
gotta
wrong with 21.
no, definitely
I love me a British rapper.
not.
A little bit of American drill.
Yeah. What about you, Jacob? What's your underrated album?
So I was kind of digging. I couldn't think of anything off the top, so I just scrolled through, my Spotify playlist to see, because a lot of times I'll listen to an album. If I really like a lot of the songs, I add a lot of the songs to my playlist. A lot of those, though, were definitely not underrated albums. They were very popular albums, to say the least. Um, but what I'm gonna go with, it is so this guy basically reinvented himself. Um, he went popular, or he got his fame off of SoundCloud or YouTube or something, um, under a different name, but now he goes by Rich Brian, right? So the song they had was called Dat Stick. Um, yeah, I'll let y'all look up his name. I'm not gonna take a jab at it. I'll let y'all figure it out. Um,
I know what the name is.
yeah,
I don't.
let's just say it's a word that I'm not gonna say, but if you take that first letter and make it a two-letter, you got it. Because just look up Dat Stick. You'll see what I'm saying. But he had an album called The Sailor. Um, Came out 2019. So it would have been maybe like sophomore year of college, something like that. Maybe going into junior year or something. Um, it's very good. I think it's he got a certain um, genre stuck on him because of Dat Stick, and Dat Stick is like the um, SoundCloud rapper aggressive, and then you look at him, you're like, that's not that guy. It's kind of like with, I don't know if y'all have seen like Lil Tecca's interviews. He's like, hey, I don't want anything. I don't have a gun. Like, I don't do that
I don't
stuff.
got no sticks for nobody.
Exactly. So I don't know. I think he has some good songs. He has a song with one of my favorite artists right now, Joji. I don't know. It's just a lot of
Nice.
like melodic stuff that has got some rap in there. If you want to take a jab, I mean, a couple songs. Let me pull it up real quick. Actually, I'm only a couple clicks away. There's one called Yellow. I think Yellow's good. You got Where Does the Time Go? Has Joji. Yeah, I think you just dabble. I don't know. I think that's an underrated album. It's kind of, I got two people here that were like, huh? And then I saw Nick kind of like, okay. So I think underrated, I think, to say the least. But yeah, I would dabble if I was y'all. So
Very
Dude,
nice.
personally, I like the 1999 album more than Sailor. But that's just
interesting.
personal.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just me. But
Hey,
both I love them. Both albums are dope, man.
yeah, I think
So I respect.
he's a guy that I'm kind of looking forward to in the future. I hope he just kind of, figures out that his course of action should not be rap, and it should be more of the have rap in your songs, but go more of the like musical, like melody aspect of it. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
But what the hell do I know? Let's be real. I don't know. So yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
what I'm going with.
Nice. Those are some good albums. Definitely gonna have to listen to a little more Zach Bryan, Portland, and Rich Bryan as he goes by now.
Yeah. Wait, what
Uh,
did he used to go by?
I'm not gonna say that.
Did you look it up,
I
Kyle?
know what it used to. Yeah.
So now you know.
Yeah.
Wait, they can't. Wait, can the stream see like our chat, like the Discord chat?
No.
I'll type it in there for Kyle.
I know what it is.
Oh, you do? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought you were being
I saw
serious.
it.
I
No, I saw
wasn't
it.
typing in there for Kyle.
Okay. No, I was just, I was just like,
Wow.
'cause I don't know, man. I thought, Kyle was like, oh, I don't know what it is, so
Nope, I know what it
I
is.
didn't. Okay.
Nick's
is it?
already being silly. Nick's already being silly. So
What is it, Kyle? Say it.
Silly.
I don't remember.
Nick's already getting silly. So that brings
That's
us
our
to
sign.
to his would you rather's. I mean, I think I speak for everybody when I say we never know what the fuck these are going to be, and that's what makes them so fun.
It's
Because
this
we
week. I'm
legit
sorry.
have no idea what this could possibly be.
This week is boring. There's no like crazy funny one. They're kind of tame, but I'll be back on the funny shit next week. Anyway, so we'll do would you rather. This is gonna be breakfast food edition.
Okay,
so-
I love
and-
breakfast.
That's my favorite meal of the
And-
day.
I'm gonna do, Kyle. You mentioned it last
Gary's
time
way?
how you pick a winner. Gary's way. You pick a winner. The winner keeps going like tournament style.
Ooh, I like it.
So
Okay.
we're gonna start it off. Pancakes or waffles?
Mm.
That one's typical, but
Waffles.
I think I'll go pancakes.
Ooh.
I'm a pancake guy myself.
I'm pancake. Yeah.
Mm.
Damn.
That is tough. I would say a good waffle outweighs a pancake, but a bad pancake is not necessarily a terrible pancake. Because I think what sells a pancake is the syrup. That being said, I'm going waffles. But
The fluffiness of a pancake is
but
what sells it for
waffles-
me.
I think waffles are the go-to, but for the sake of our argument, it's already 2-1. We can't really split right off the top. I'll go pancakes, just for the sake of the argument.
Good waffle.
I think no, I completely
Waffles.
disagree. I think a bad pancake is way worse than a bad waffle because you can get some really shitty pancakes.
I don't know.
I think you get some
a
pretty
crispy,
shit
a crispy
waffles.
waffle is terrible.
Yeah.
Ah,
All right. Colton's the lone guy. Jacob said pancake.
that's
We'll roll with
fine.
pancake.
I'll
That's
roll with
fine.
pancake.
What,
For the sake of the argument.
There's no wrong answer here. They're both.
Unless you chose waffle.
Unless
Yeah, unless you chose waffle. Waffles or French toast?
Is this waffles or pancakes? I thought the winner goes on.
Oh, my bad. Pancakes and French toast. No, I screwed up there. Yeah, pancakes or French toast.
Who's making the French toast? First of all, who's making the breakfast?
The best pancake versus the best.
The top. Yeah, the best you've ever had of each
Hey, the
item.
the crowd agrees pancakes.
The crowd.
We got Cade. Cade's in there.
Very nice.
Pancakes.
Very nice. Hey, I appreciate you sticking around, Kate.
Fucking.
Hey, we've been having some chat.
That's love, bro.
He's already ahead of the game too. He's saying French toast. Okay.
Nah, pancakes. Give me
Okay.
pancakes.
I will be honest here. I have probably had French toast, other than French toast sticks that you throw in the microwave. I've had legit French toast maybe like once in my entire lifetime. So I don't think
My
I'm
mom's
allowed to speak on this, but I'm going pancake.
homemade French toast is something serious. That shit is amazing. And that's why I'm saying, like, who's making it? Because, like, if my mom's the one cooking this French toast, then it's hard. My mom's a great cook. I mean, she's
That's a little bit of bias. It's a little bit of bias.
yeah, you're damn right it is biased. But she can cook her ass off, man. So this is hard, but I'm gonna have to go pancake on this one.
Nick, I want to hear what you got to say, Nick, because, man, I'm 50-50 right now, dog.
Dude.
Cade agrees. Mama makes some banger French toast. That's what it is. If it's mom cooking it, French toast all day. But if it's a restaurant and it's the best of the best for the restaurant, give me pancake.
Dude,
Sorry, I didn't mean to ramble. But.
No, I'll probably have to do pancakes. Yeah, I gotta.
That's hard, bro. I think that's way
It's
harder
hard,
than a
yeah.
pancake and waffle.
Straight up.
Because some good French toast goes
Yeah, it's good.
stupid. I mean,
Oh.
stupid. So I think I'll go with French toast.
Okay.
But pancake wins.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Pancakes or bacon, egg, and cheese, like on a bagel,
Bacon
or like a
and
bacon,
cheese.
egg, and cheese, like yeah, like a or like you get it
Like a
from
breakfast
like
sandwich.
yeah, breakfast sandwich.
biscuit?
Yeah,
Biscuit, croissant.
biscuit. There you go. My bad, biscuit. Sorry.
I was gonna say if it's on a
Biscuit.
bagel, fuck no.
Bacon,
Hey,
egg, and cheese.
A bagel
biscuit.
toasted the right way.
Is delicious.
Dude, yeah, a bagel toasted the right way.
You can raw dog a bagel and it'd be good.
Yeah, but if bacon, egg, and cheese, bro, it's gotta be on biscuit.
Okay.
We're from the,
For the
we're
sake
from
of the
the
argument.
South. Come on, we put everything on biscuit. Bacon, egg, and cheese on a biscuit any day of the week. I'm a big sandwich guy. Mom used to always make homemade biscuits in the mornings or like on weekends and stuff. She cooked bacon, eggs, all that good stuff.
She maybe
And
cheese,
I
maybe
throw
some
some-
biscuits. I'm sorry.
I get some jelly, throw it on the biscuit, put me an egg on there, put some bacon, put a little bit of cheese, and you can't beat it. I'm a big sandwich guy, so I'm going bacon, egg, and cheese.
I think I'll go with the pancake.
Pancake. Okay.
I'm not a big
again.
biscuit guy
What?
unless it's like very fluffy.
on a bagel. For
Even
you-
on a
for you
bagel,
on
I'm not a bacon guy. I'm just as much hate as I might get for that.
Okay.
I'm just not a bacon guy. If I eat
No, I
bacon,
respect it.
I'd want it not crunchy, like as soft as it could be without being raw.
Ugh.
I prefer. I like turkey bacon. I like turkey bacon more than bacon.
So you
regular
like
bacon.
what you're saying is you like flaccid bacon.
Dude, you're a communist.
Sure. I prefer
Fucking
breakfast
Tommy.
sausage over bacon.
Kyle, I'm with you on that. I prefer sausage.
Thank you. So I'll go pancake.
Yo.
Pause.
You can't win on that one either
Resume.
way.
Pause. Resume, baby.
Either way, it's meat, baby. Come on now.
Pancake. Thank you for that. Vic, please go.
Dude, I'm gonna do pancake because I don't like bacon.
Jacob, I want you to pick whatever you want to pick.
I'm taking the sandwich. I'm taking
Okay,
the
Okay.
whether that's on.
Okay, let's
Let's
sake
roll
of
the
changing
sandwich.
it up. Let's roll with the sandwich. Okay, bacon egg or breakfast sandwich, bacon, egg, and cheese, or hash browns.
Bacon and cheese.
Hash browns.
Really?
God, I fucking love hash browns.
I put the hash browns on.
You can't do that. That's cheating.
Cheating.
Now, I think a good argument for this. How do you like your hash browns? Do you like them like hashed or you like the little patty thing?
No, hashed. They have to be like
I like
a
the
little
hash.
like strips or
Like
whatever.
cut up, kind of. Yeah, like
Yeah.
weave together.
This is hard because, like I said, whenever mom.
Hey, shout out Mama Shirley, bro.
Dude, she would make a whole damn spread for me and my dad and her. And give me the hash browns, man.
Is
Give me
anybody
the hash browns, man.
Hey, I
is
think
anybody else cutting out, or is that just
I
me?
could tell the passion,
No, yeah,
but I couldn't hear it.
yes.
Yeah,
I
you
couldn't
were
hear
like you cut
man.
out the entire time, pretty much.
Cut out of it.
AirPods might be dying.
You sound.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you kind
might-
of sound
you
like
might-
you're underwater, buddy.
Oh no, I might need to back up a little bit so the Wi-Fi. All I'm saying is hash brown. Hurricane
Okay.
season came. Fuck you, kid. The hash browns. I gotta go with them.
Shit.
Nice. Some
Okay.
good hash browns go crazy.
I got sandwich.
Okay.
Sammy.
What about you,
Okay.
Nick?
So what's the tally right now?
2-1.
for
2-1 hash browns.
2-1 hash browns. Hash browns. That's what I'm saying. All right, so that's that for that one, and then I have one more. Would you rather? This is basketball players, NBA. Oh yeah, go ahead, Kyle.
Yeah, can we just all go through and say our favorite breakfast food super quick?
Yeah.
Like super quick.
Yes.
Go,
Yes.
I'll start off. Biscuits and
I'm hungry
gravy.
now.
Yeah, you stole
Jesus
Really?
fucking Christ.
You stole mine.
Really?
Biscuits
Oh
and
my
gravy.
God, dude, that one, and it's a tie with an omelet. I love me some omelets, but dude,
yummy.
a good, nice, soft biscuit and gravy.
Make sure all warm.
My mom makes it with some like spicy sausage, a little cayenne on top of it.
Let Let me know when you're going to Giddings, bro, because I'm gonna stay there for about a week now after everything you said that your mom cooked. So I expect a
Dude,
full
my
course meal
mom,
every meal of the day.
she'll fucking do it too. I swear to God. Like she is like in the kitchen. Definitely, I'm going. I'm going with biscuits and gravy too. Like absolutely, I beat good biscuits and gravy.
He's getting greedy, man.
Nick's
What
about to
about
say
you?
apple slices.
No, dude, I'm gonna do it's like a Lebanese breakfast type thing. It's like yogurt with like olives and then wrapped in like kind of like a pita bread. It's like a little sandwich thing.
Interesting.
Nice.
Yeah.
Tasty.
Yeah, man.
So
But
it's yogurt, pita bread, and an olive.
like olives, like a bunch of olives kind of cut up and like it's a I think it's Greek yogurt. That's right. Yeah, Greek yogurt and then yeah, like just wrapped up in pita bread.
Hmm.
Yeah, man.
Quick question for you guys.
So
If
what?
I can ask another breakfast question, I think this
Yeah,
this will
absolutely.
make or break our friendship. Okay, so everyone knows what scrambled eggs are. Everyone knows what a hard boiled egg is. But if you're gonna get a fried egg, what's your go-to?
Over easy.
So you like them runny, okay?
Yep. I like my eggs running.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. I don't know the differences. Once you even
So
tell me, hey, how do you want your egg? I don't know what to say. I always just get it
So-
scrambled unless it's on a burger. I just get it whatever comes on the burger.
I got you. So you can get sunny side up, which basically means it's white, and then you got like the yolk just chilling there.
But it's like loose.
Yeah, it literally wiggles around.
It's runny.
Then you got over easy, which I'm pretty sure is like they do it like this, and then they go psh for a little bit, and then they give it to you. So you cut it, it's still runny. Then you got like over medium, it's a little more firm. There's usually like some hard in yolk, but liquid in the middle. And you got like over hard or whatever, where it's literally just, I mean, the yolk is yolkified, or it gets solid in there. So
Yolkified. I like it.
Yeah.
I would probably go over medium then.
can't go wrong.
Not too runny, but not too not completely all the way
Eating
through.
it, if I'm eating it on a sandwich, I don't have to go everywhere, so over medium. But if and so I'll go over easy. Get
I
all
think
that
you have
yolk
to
in.
take. I think you have to take the AirPods off or something, bro. Because it's pretty bad. You cut it. You cut in and out a lot.
I'm always into it. I'm like, yes, yeah.
Yes.
Dude,
let's
I
see what it
hate
says.
this. Is this better now?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
Why
it's better.
is just my AirPods in? It's so frustrating.
I'm actually gonna go against what you said for so. I like it messy. I guess I like it when like it has all the yolk on the burger.
It's like sauce.
Yeah, it's like sauce.
It's
The
Oh,
only
yeah,
downside is your hands get messy. That's the only
That's
downside.
what napkins are for.
True. Or your
I just
mouth.
dip my hand in my water.
Okay. Yolk water, yummy.
Yolk water, dude.
I'm an over easy guy myself. I don't know. Nick is the only one left.
I'm an over easy guy too, man.
I don't dislike sunny side up, but I prefer over easy.
I prefer over easy.
Nice.
Yeah, those were great. Would you rather's, Nick?
He's got one.
He has one more. He actually has another one.
Oh, he's got more.
Yeah,
That was the
basketball
that was
one.
only one.
I'll save this one for next week. We're running a little long here, so I'll save this one for next week.
Okay.
Sounds
Shit,
good.
all right.
Hey, a
Dude,
great
I-
sign of a good would you rather though is it had so much discussion. I will say.
Yeah.
Dude,
That's good.
Dude, food, man. Everybody loves talking about food, man.
We can talk about breakfast food all day long because Mama's cooking is.
I hope she
So,
listens to this so that way she can hear how much you're hyping her up.
Colton's gonna send
Yeah,
it.
hopefully
yeah.
listens
Just
to
this
this so
snippet.
they can hear how many times I say the word fuck. Yeah.
Just show her that little portion. That's it.
Yeah. I'll just make a clip out of it and send it to her. Yeah. Thank you, Nick. Always appreciate your would you rather's. So now, last one of the evening. We always end with this one. Jacob, what you got for us tonight? What's your special topic? I'm ready for it.
All right. I think I got a pretty good one. I think with Cade's in the chat too. I think we could get a pretty good answer from him.
Oh,
So-
God.
All right. You have a time machine, okay? But it's not for yourself. It's for an item, okay? So, what is an item They think if you could go back medieval, you could go back to like cavemen. It doesn't matter, but something you take back that would just completely mind boggle them, right? Now we can't say, oh, I'm gonna go give a caveman a fucking Abrams tank and let them just technologically advance or just dominate everything, right? No, I'm saying like for my example that I'm gonna say, I think this is a pretty good one. Take like a McDonald's Sprite and give that to some like pleb back in ancient Greek times. Their head might explode. I don't think they would know how to process the taste, the caffeine, like any of it. I mean, like stuff like that. You know, if you take I don't know, imagine taking like a lamp or a flashlight back with like the cavemen, dude. They would just like, what? You know, I want to see where y'all's minds go with that. Again, it can't be like anything crazy. Like, you're not gonna take a gun back to like ancient Egypt or anything like that, but just something like out of the ordinary. It's kind of like mind blowing for them. You know, that's where I'm going with it. I'll give y'all a minute to think if y'all want.
I have no idea.
I got one.
That's gonna get me thinking because I would have never thought of McDonald's Sprite, to be honest with you. That's pretty good.
But is that not a good idea? See,
That's
like
good.
again, we also got a immediate response. So we got Cade. He's gonna send one singular Taki to a 13th century monarch, and they would instantly dissolve after touching it.
Jesus
Imagine like the Pocky chip, whatever, the world's hottest chip, just sitting that singular chip.
Yeah.
Just he was like a peasant in the 1200s who never had anything that's seasoned with other than salt. Oh my god, that dude would die.
And that salt comes from their sweat. So like,
Yeah.
it's not even legit salt.
That dude would die. Like he would just
Like even like
that kind of
today's
stuff.
table salt would be mind blowing probably.
Yeah, imagine going back to the time where they were fighting wars over salt and you call it table salt and it's like, what do you call it that?
Knackle. I'll call it knackle.
Well, go ahead, Nick, because I think Nick said he had one already.
It kind of took mine. There was these Doritos chips back in the day. There was like, I don't know, flavored with like all kinds of shit. They were big ass spicy chips, and I would take those back. But I'm gonna have to think of a different one.
Is it those purple Doritos?
No, it was like the. Oh, let me go find them. Give me a minute.
Hey, Kate has another one.
I think Nick said he had one.
He did. He's delaying because it's not as good as he thought it was.
Yeah, it's not. Now that I'm thinking about it, I was just gonna do like Filet-O-Fish, and just send it back to like
The McRib.
Jesus times. Yeah, the McRib. The McRib would be sick, dog.
Now, would the Filet-O-Fish have tartar sauce or no?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Hey, we have Cade saying a camera. Take it back to Cleopatra, since Cleopatra was like the most beautiful whatever. So she could take a picture and see if she really was all that.
Oh,
So,
Could I say phone?
a phone.
You could even do like a landline. I mean, any
Yeah.
type
Dude,
of phone back then. Like, I don't know. That'd be pretty
Loki,
cool.
you could even take a red Solo cup, string red Solo cup. They'd be like, "What the fuck?" It's just you got so much you could potentially do.
The Doritos I was thinking of might have been a fever dream, so I don't know.
This guy.
Can't find them anywhere on Google. They cease to exist.
But I can't find them. This is so difficult.
I would say a phone. I like the camera. He kind of stole my one with the camera. I take like the little windy up one.
little Polaroid or something.
Sure.
Like imagine taking like a I'm sure they had stuff that was reflective back then, but imagine taking like a pure mirror. You know, they were probably looking at themselves in some terrible stuff. Or even like imagine, I mean this is gonna be kind of dark, but imagine taking like the legit like the drugs that people take these days. I mean they were doing opioid. They were doing
Give him a
opioids and
perk
stuff.
30. Oh my god.
Give a Victorian child a perk 30.
Hey, Rome
Oh
would have
my
been
God.
built in a day. Come on now.
Yeah, maybe that's how they got the pyramids, bro. They don't perk 30s, man.
I think the one I'm going with. I'm taking Gravedigger, the monster truck, back to like the 1300s, and just like doing a bunch of donuts and flips and shit, and then just leaving with no explanation.
Hey, use it as a battering ram.
Yeah, literally. Like we'll show them some of this shit, or just using like 1776 when the British come over, and you're just like driving straight up the Europeans
Honking
because
the horn. Honking the horn as you're
Yeah.
coming.
Hey, shout out those like Ford commercials where they'd have like George
Yes.
Washington in a Mustang.
Oh, yeah.
my
That
God.
was kind of my inspiration for it, but I wanted to take it up a notch and be like,
Oh,
yeah,
for
fucking
sure.
monster truck.
Very nice. Well, Nick, what you think?
What?
What's
What you
yours?
think?
Mine?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just said send filet fish back to
Oh, okay.
like
Nice.
like Jesus.
To
time.
Jesus, so he can feed them
Yeah.
with. He can turn filet-o-fish into multiples
Oh,
and hand those out. Not real fish, but filet-o-fish.
Hey,
Shit, then he deserves to be crucified.
They would have
God
all.
oh my God.
I was gonna go the opposite way and be like, people were actually gonna follow because he had a filet-o-fish.
Oh my.
Oh my
My bad,
God.
dog.
What would that be
Too
today's
far? Too
body of
raunchy?
Christ though? It wouldn't be the little wafers. It would be the whole filet of fish.
Big filet of fish.
Everybody has their own filet-o-fish.
And then the blood of Christ.
And the
is
McDonald's
Sprite.
McDonald's Sprite, man. Oh yeah.
So the body of Christ is made in McDonald's.
It'll either be
Lovely.
that or the high C orange.
That was
Right.
nice.
Wait, what about you, Kyle? I mean, you.
I said the phone, like a
Oh,
landline, or even like a landline, or like you said, the cups with the string. In it. Either one, I think they'd be pretty fascinated by that.
But like, imagine like PVC pipe.
PVC
Something as simple
pipe.
as that. Like,
I mean,
golly.
Think about a pen, like just a
Yeah.
regular pen, a pencil. You know, it's just like something, a T-shirt, right? Like a nice. Give him a nice hoodie,
Ooh, yeah. You have
Yeah.
Under Armour?
Under Armour hoodie.
Some
Yeah, they were
dry-
freezing, dude. Yeah, true.
Also in the monster truck, at all times, I'm gonna have the speakers blaring Freebird.
There
Okay.
you go. Very
The
nice.
foot is melody.
Yeah.
What is that melody?
Just doing donuts. Won't you fly?
Okay.
Oh,
Very
my.
nice. I like that. That was nice.
Yeah, it was a good one. It was yeah. Well, shout out Cave for staying in here the whole time and talking to us. That was nice. Appreciate you. Shout out to everybody that's been following us on Twitter, watching us on YouTube, liking, commenting. I really appreciate it. Oh, goodness.
Jeez.
All right.
It's that McDonald's Sprite getting to you.
Filet-o-fish coming
Yeah.
back up.
The blood of Christ.
Yeah. Just want to say thank y'all to everybody who's listening out there, and should be out either Thursday or Friday. Just want to say thank you. Yeah. See y'all next week.